I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you are gonna love over yourself.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Neck Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good afternoon. This is the second show of the day. Yeah. All right. Awesome. And it's going to be a good one. We should be having a couple of guests on the show. We did an earlier interview where we spoke with one of the under 17 representative, right? His name is Owen Jump. He's of Mount Pleasant. He's a Mount Pleasant player, right? Owen Jump, great interview. If you have young sons and daughters who are into sports, I think it would be a worthwhile interview for them to tune into, for them to watch. That is with Owen Jump of Mount Pleasant. Yes, really, I implore you to watch it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, today on this show, we're going to deal with some JPL. We're going to look back at the game yesterday between Mount Pleasant and Cavaliers. I was at that game, and so, yeah, I'm going to talk to you just from my perspective on that game. We're going to talk about some EPL. Just saw some breaking news, transfer news in the EPL. Yes, big breaking news in the EPL, which I think I will verify it, but I think it will make Arsenal fans very, very happy. This is from the very credible. This is like a few minutes ago. So let me tell you, do y'all see it? Y'all see it? What is going on? I don't know. But some breaking news. Yeah. From Sky Sport confirming, I understand, a transfer at Arsenal. All right, so Definitely, if it is so. But as usual, it is Super Friday. So as usual, we ask you to hit the like button, share, please, because sharing is caring. Subscribe, and also, if you want, you can drop a super sticker. You can also drop a super chat, right? Support the channel. We want 10 super sticker, super chat by the end of the day. You know, all of those things go towards the support and the work of the platform. All right. So if you want to help with that, you can go ahead in the way of a super chat and or a super sticker. Yep. All right. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Also, you can also call in and tell us what is happening at your club in terms of transfers, confirmed news. All right. So big up everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody is doing fine. Lots happening in Jamaica. Lots happening in the States. There's a lot of unsettling. A lot of people are worried about the deportation and stuff. I always tell people, listen, if you're legal there, you have no fear. You understand me? Have no fear if you're illegal there. But if you're illegal there, then that's your fault. That's not the system, and that is not the rule. You know, that is not the way they operate. So there are consequences for every action. All right. Just make sure you had, put things in place that if you were to return to Jamaica, you have things to return to. You understand me? You know, there's a song some time ago. I think it was done by Buju Banton before he transformed into a different kind of a Buju. He says, things change. Don't necessarily life hard. Why? You never send the money come a yard. You rich you? Now you're living like dog. Right? Squander your money, now you're living like dog. It speaks about boy get deport sent down in a one pants. Don't remember the rest of it, but the idea behind the song is so often people are living luxurious lives and they don't, put anything down at home, and anything can happen. You can return home. So always, don't. So many times I'm not telling you to give family members no money, because sometimes some of these family members will take your money, and when you come there, it's only grass where you thought you had a mansion. But come back to Jamaica, man. Get a piece of land, build something, buy property, rent it out or something. So when things get hard, you have something to fall back on. You understand me? All right. You may even want to buy something in the States so that you can sell it if you need to when you get older and come back to Jamaica. And you're not coming back to go live in your mother's house and your father's house, and then you have your brother and your sister them with it out here along, and your cousin them in a be a problem. Because that is the issue sometimes. The people they are foreign and say them come back to Jamaica now and they want shares and the thing when you weren't here. You understand me? Make sure you do your own thing. Because I am telling you, a lot of you in the States, because you make more money, so watch this. Says 6,000 US. In certain places, you can get land to buy. In probably the community you come from, maybe you don't want to go out there. 6,000 US dollars, 10,000 US dollars. Yeah. 10,000 US dollars is like 1.5 million. You can get some land somewhere with that, in Jamaica, in some rural areas, good proper land I'm talking about. 1.5 million, 20,000, that's easy. For some of you, that is like a couple of months' salary or even 1 month salary from your work. Buy some land, man. At least have the land. You understand me? Yeah. So even if you have to knock up 2 pieces of zinc and some plywood, you have a piece of land. You man say investment. All right. That is my little advice. Maybe you disagree with me still, but I'm tired of seeing these things. All of you out there who flossing and endorsing and all of them things there. Use all high, what do you call it, top shelf liquor for washing your shoes and washing your car and all of them things there. Make sure you really invest in the money in things worthwhile with your name on it. Legitimate earnings. You understand? Because things can get hard, Economies can go through recessions. Stuff like that. Yeah. But we're not here to talk some social issues. We have that coming up in a different way, in a different form, because we have a big, massive story that we're going to break. Well, it's not a breaking story. It's a story of someone who actually died on their way to a football game. A youngster, an under 14 player who died on their way to a football game. Tragic way. And we are going to be talking about that. The people who were involved with it are going to share the experience and give some tips about how, to avoid that kind of a thing. Definitely. So Sunday evening, we don't normally do shows on Sundays, because, it's family time. But this is very special, a very special story. And so we're going to take the time to talk about it come Sunday. All right? But yeah, man, let's get into the meat of the matter. And I go mismatch and go all over the place in terms of how they are labeled or how they are outlined in the description. I won't go through it that way. So the first thing I want to speak about is I received a clip of my friend. Simon and I are very good friends. He was at Draxall yesterday as well. Hey, before I get that, I saw Shorty Barnes. I think his name is Shorty Barnes. Yeah, man. I saw him at Draxall yesterday. Shorty Barnes, Yeah, man. Yeah. He held him up and mail me up. Big up Shorty Barnes. I don't give me a warm time on radio. I don't know. Understand me? Yeah, but we just step and we go through. That's our place. Yeah. Our place. Yeah, man, Draxall. Anyways, yeah, so saw Simon yesterday. So I got the clip, and so I saw the clip, and I said, I don't know. Let me call Simon and find out, because I know sometimes people can clip. I think the part of a clip that I got, it said, if me not say it no gossip. If me not say it no gossip. That is a part of the clip that I kind of heard. So I wanted more context, because it just never sound like, the Simon that man is man knows. So I called him and I said, we had a private conversation, and he kind of explained to me what he was speaking to, why he came out and addressed it. It was about print media and persons, especially as it comes to the area of the football and concerning like national teams, seeing that he's a media officer. I think the point Simon was making, in fairness to Simon, is that, listen, if you hear something, you see something, you can call him. And the point he's making in the video, if you watch the video, is that, listen, he's even in groups with the people. So if no matter if you see it overseas or anywhere, you can say, hey, Simon, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I have read. This is what I've heard. Do you have any knowledge of it? You can still, after that, put out the story. But I think he's right by saying, if he operates as a media officer, then, and you have contact with him, when it comes on to the national team and the players and certain things, you can reach out to him fair and square. No issues with that. However, what Simon has to understand is that people can get information that is accurate, and they don't have to talk to him. Because, and here's one of the biggest things, there are many things with the national team that Simon cannot verify. Even when he knows it, he cannot say, yes, it is so, because that will be a breach of confidentiality. So he cannot. So the sources may have other sources where they get their information from, and it is accurate. And Simon cannot say, yes, it is so. He has to plead the fifth or be diplomatic in his response. And the information that they're asking him is actually accurate. But you cannot say it because of the portfolio that you carry. Therefore, the GenSec for the Prime Minister may know something, right? It is somehow leaked out in the media. The media asks the GenSec. The GenSec for the Prime Minister can't really say, yes, it is so, you know, without the Prime Minister actually permitting him to say that, because as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, it should be confidential. So Simon has to understand that people can get information that is accurate without anybody at the JFF even knowing it. Or they know it, but the people are also right. And the people can publish it. The people can talk about it, whether it be social media content creators or mainstream media. It matters not. So Simon says, if him not says it no go so, I do not believe that. Because there are many things people have said that you have not said, and I saw it go. So you have a very credible thing that you're saying. In other words, talk to me and ask me, and I will inform you. That don't mean that other people not giving people information that is accurate and true that they can report on. So we should not, in this space, kind of present ourselves as the only bearers of the truth, only bearers of the facts. Right? There are times when people get things wrong. I have gotten things wrong. People have asked me about players, and I say, yeah, man, that player is going to come for the next window. I wasn't trying to deceive the people, but that is what I understood. The player didn't come. I didn't. Well, people could say, you see it, you lie. But based on the information I had, that is what it was pointing to. I got it wrong. Right? What's the deal? There was a program called What's the Deal? A lot of those deals never became actual deals. So we have to be careful, because what we don't want to come across to people in general is that the only person you can get information from is this one person. It is not true. There are people who have connections outside of Jamaica. People have connection with people who are higher up than me. So I played a role with the national team, but there are people who are not playing any role in the national team that has way more information about the national team than me. And they know people. An ideal example, you know, because I had to do some interrogation, some investigation, some digging about the Tyreek McGee thing. All right? So here's what happened. Simple thing, you know. Tyreek McGee goes up by the school. And he goes up by the school. Someone sees him and give a vlogger the information. Or someone connected to the school saw him there, made an assumption, give the vlogger the information. It goes out. How it was communicated and the outcome are far and apart. All right. Was the person actually there? Yes. Was the information accurate? Well, it was partly accurate. He was there. It's just that there was no deal in place and there was nothing like that for it to be reported that way. So people get things wrong and people get things right. We have to respect every man in their field and give them the opportunity, boss. You understand me? No, and a lot of this, I believe, come up because of the Mason Greenwood thing. I will say to people, listen, there is a Costa Rican player. Right? Who is this now? Javane Robinson said, man, I have an issue with information. He kept on saying the match was in the evening, although CONCACAF made a decision that the match was at 3 p.m. in their IG. He insisted it was at 6 p.m. Javane. Oh, I don't, that's what I'm telling you. Okay, all right, Javane. All right, Javane. So you have a point too. You see it, so we have to listen to each other. All right. So I need to get back to what I was about to say. Supposed to have Mr. Speid. I soon get back to it. We're supposed to have Mr. Speid, hoping that he will come on to share some things. You know, the Cavaliers game. We're going to do a quick discussion about the Mount Pleasant game. All right, so the Mason Greenwood thing resurfaced because an overseas media company published something and many people kind of ran with it. All right, I'm going to give you a story. There is a Costa Rican player who plays for Spartak Moscow. So there is an Arsenal fan TV, and they deal with just rumors and links and stuff like that. So they say that Arsenal has no contact with the player, no contact with the agent, no contact with his club. However, information surfaced somewhere that the player is being linked to Arsenal, right? And he's valued at $15 million. All right. So Spartak Moscow, the club that the player is at, came out and said that this is blackmail. What they are doing is because the player wants, I'm telling you, what Spartak Moscow is reported to have said. They reported that the player and the player's agent want to blackmail them into giving the player a pay increase. A pay increase. All right? A pay increase. So, yeah, they want to give the player a pay increase. The player wants a pay increase. So the player and the player's agent is basically doing all of this so that, watch this, so that Spartak Moscow would be driven into panic, pay the player more to stay. So Spartak Moscow is saying that there's nothing, there's no link, there's no contact, and Arsenal is saying the same thing. The point I'm making is that the media landscape can be a place for manipulation, meaning a place where people can report, put out certain information for their own personal gains and agenda. I believe in the past, players who wanted to be called by England, represent England, I believe that there are players who, along with their agents, would put out information about connection to Jamaica and other nations. So when the English FAR people saw that, they would say, you know what, let us get them kept early, kind of a thing. I believe that that happens as well. Manipulation. There you go. All right. Fabrication. There you go. Yeah, the Calabar man say balance. Manipulation. Fabrication. Yeah. So we have to understand it. We have to understand how they, yeah. Or the Jamaican. All right. I see Simon responding. All right. So people, Balakar, where are you? 1 sec. Don't move. A muscle. All right. Check. Can you hear me now? All right. So I see Simon responding because I wasn't sure of the conversation. I think he's responding to. He says, Javian, the Jamaican delegation was informed of the kickoff time for Jamaica versus Dominica Republic on match day -1. The venue coordinator told the Jamaican delegation on the day before the game the change from 6 p.m. to 3 p.m. Match day. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Furthermore, the president's side of tickets will be able to attend the next game. Oh, I think that's a different discussion. Oh, Simon, if you want to come and clarify, you can come and clarify because earlier I was speaking about the thing, where you said that if you don't say it, so I thought I explained your position, but I also stood in defense of people who put out information as well. So I don't know if you're listening, but if you want to jump on and further explain to the people what you meant in that video, then certainly. All right, so there you go. So as he said earlier, like I said, he's referring to newspaper articles. You see what I mean? He's referring to newspaper articles without quotes, right? So what Simon is saying that when you put something out in newspaper article or whatever without a quote from the actual person, it should not be taken as gospel. Let's put it that way. With Simon as a point. But I think again, if you listen to it though, Simon, people can walk away from that believing that you're saying that only you alone have information on all things football, which is not the case you're making. Big up 433 Presser. You understand me? I have been told by somebody that they think like Presser and I would be, they call it the Presser and Pastor podcast. I don't know. It sounds more like a rhyme to me. Presser Pastor podcast. Like me and Presser doing a podcast together. Sound like I will be under too much pressure from the presser. You understand me? So I don't big up yourself and thank for the super sticker. One presser. You say that's a horrible idea. All right. I don't know. The Carla Barman making the Manchester native have a warm time, Yeah. All right. So that is it on that Simon issue. So just be very careful, people, and understand that not everyone motives are pure and right, and sometimes the people who put out information, they have an agenda behind it. And I've seen it many times in transfer markets and stuff where people put out information to get people to be a certain way. Because one of the biggest places, you watch the recent election, for example, in the United States of America, and a lot of what people believe or did not believe had a lot to do with what was in the media. So it is just a general principle in life. All right. Yeah. Now, Balakar as well, because Balakar is somebody I need to have. I think he said that he's going to call in because Balakar is very challenged by some of Unseen's selection when it comes to Alakar, at the end of the day, Unseen, that is Unseen's team of the week. That is not the JPL people selecting a team. That is Unseen selecting a team. And you know already, and Unseen is not afraid to say it, that there are certain players that he rates, he likes, and certain teams that he supports. So if Unseen pick them, I don't think anything is wrong. You pick your own. You understand me? You pick your own team. But Unseen is going to pick the players. I don't agree with half of the team that Unseen pick, but that's just the Unseen thing. So he picks players that he likes. And like I said in the previous show, it's going to be hard to pick a team of the round if you have not watched at least the highlights of the games. And none of us are able to watch all the games. So when we pick a team, it has to be based on our own viewing, right? And I don't think there's any, well, there's a level of bias in it, but that's it, man. But that's it. All right. So let me just deal with that. So Balakar, when you're ready, you can come and tell me like some of the things I disagree with. Where Unseen is concerned. No, like I said, the JPL yesterday, I was at the game at Draxall, and yeah, I thought it was a good game. To be fair, chorus I don't go. To be fair, no, the Cavaliers were missing a good amount of their players. To be fair to them, I will say that they were missing Richard King, who is a leader in defense, Dwayne Allen, Jalmara Calvin, Alex Xavier Gooden, Ronaldo Barrett. So they had a few players out there. Right back got substituted early in the game as well. So Adrian Reed had to go to right back. All right. But no excuses on the day. Mount Pleasant is in good form. And I don't believe. I think if King was there, Cavaliers would have defended better. Hold on, we have a caller.
I don't believe.
We have Balakar. Good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Go ahead and share your thoughts and your opinion with the people.
Yeah, man. When me there call me talk about self and we got to start off with the Mount Pleasant thing. Whether they need of King and who they call, then still probably they get 5. You understand me?
But they didn't get 5. Why would they say 5 when they didn't get 5?
I said probably if they have the next ball of them key ballers, they would have get 5.
You believe that if they have their key ballers, the score would have been worse instead of better?
Yes, yeah. Because me watch the Cavaliers team often now, Yeah, me rate them. But at the moment, them every side them play against, them I say boy them better than and them I run over them. You understand? I just probably one mistake we make on our back and they score, but otherwise on that the team they will run over them. They're not used to be the team where they used to be. You understand? And with the unseen thing now.
But hold on, but to be fair to Balakar, how much game Cavaliers lose all season? Because which team running over Cavaliers?
Two games I know them lose.
No, man. Cavaliers has lost 3 games.
All right.
Same amount as Mobile, same amount as Arnett Gardens.
Mount Pleasant you talk about, my boss.
No, man. You said that team running over Cavaliers, so may I ask you?
No, what I mean?
Yeah,
what I mean by out playing them, but probably not finish. You understand? In the middle of the park, them a get outplay. Them style of play, kind of get people get used to it. Them play the ball around the back, then they hit it to anyone I flank them way. The pace play them upon You understand the middle of the park where they used to knock down the ball, they just so again.
Yeah, but
Me no know.
to be fair though, like I believe that Mount Pleasant would have still won the game. I think it would have been
Yeah.
a closer game, a more competitive game because Cavalier never really had a shot. The goalkeeper, Shaquan Davis, did not make a save for the entire game. All right.
Calvin never played yesterday.
No, Calvin wasn't there. Atkinson wasn't there. Barrett wasn't there. Alexander Gunnar wasn't there. Dwayne Allen wasn't there. Richard King wasn't there. So I think if all of those players were playing, they would have been way more competitive than they were. I still believe though. Go ahead.
Busy injured, so you want to put Busy United.
Yeah, that's what I said. If they were there, you understand me? He wasn't there, so you have to leave him out. King was carded out, and Mount Pleasant had to make adjustment as well. So what they did was they put Penny Cook at right back because Kai Ming was out on card suspension. All right. So my point is though that Mount Pleasant is scoring, When you look at Mount Pleasant scoring an average of 3 goals a game, but Balakar.
Yeah, them are do good, man.
That is how good they are, because their goal difference is 38 from what, 19 games. So if you add the goals against them, you'd realize that I
think they've gone 45 goal now.
Yeah. So go ahead.
And the assistant coach for Mount Pleasant, Ferguson and Tappa, them do a good job. Both scouting players in and letting players go. You understand? The midfield is kind of getting old. So what them do, them try to get in some younger baller where when we just say want to play midfield. Where they know so they have to run. You understand? So that work.
Yeah, because Anglin is younger indeed. So they have brought in Anglin. Yeah. They just had Alwyn Harvey returning as well. So he's there. So they have gotten younger. They have Owen Jump, who I interviewed today, who's a regular part of their squad. I think they as you know, the Brazilian that was there, he's gone. To Mobi. And
on a loan deal.
Yeah, on a season-long loan. I doubt though that come next season he'll be back at Mount Pleasant. I just feel like this is just, kind of putting him in place for a move. I don't see, based on the fact that they have the academy player Jamari Nolan who came on yesterday again and had an assist. So they have so they have a couple of youngsters from their academy that are in and around the mix.
And the Brazilian going back to Mobile United, kind of tweak one little thing. You say, all right, the number 10 gone, so one vacancy they come to number 10, and we know the Tariq Maggie thing is probably a rumor, but to me, maybe just feel say one little something go so and one little something not go so. You see me? Because the number 10 does, all of a sudden it does disappear. So you understand? So I just that me to say. You see me? And before me leave, the press conference with Tappa Whitmore doing the press conference and unseen first question to the coach was like he's saying that the Mount Pleasant team that had never have a lot of players playing there, and like he might ask the coach if he said that's why I win. The coach said we play Cavaliers.
Right. He was saying that Cavaliers had several players missing. And what Whitmore said is basically if it's 1 or 2 or 10, the team is a team he played and the team is Cavaliers. But the truth is Mr. Speid never made any excuses. So kudos to him. He said on the day Mount Pleasant were better. Right now, the two teams playing the best football is Mobile and Mount Pleasant.
Thank you.
That is it. Cavaliers is not playing their best football, but again, don't underestimate Cavaliers, because it's a kind of team that when it comes to the playoff and those things, you will see them in the finals and you wonder how Cavaliers reach the finals.
Yeah, and when we really call him, say I did the Instagram, and last week we have a conversation with Unseen, and I tell him say him too biased as a media person. And in the comment section on film page, the people them a beat him and say you need to be biased. And as a friend, tell him say yo, bro.
Yeah, but they're saying he's biased because he picked a team, right?
Yes.
Right.
And he's doing an interview with the coach. Just do the right thing now. After probably you can talk to him about that. Your question never have to be that. You understand? So the people them in the comments start I say to him and I say, me no like it.
Yeah.
Because you know, I wanna win. So if you say me learn from long time when all I know I tell him say, yo, as a media person, you have to know.
He does, to be fair to him though, Balakar, and I'm not justifying what he is doing. What I'm saying though, that he tells you clearly that he supports Arnett Gardens and he works for Cavaliers. He tells you that. So if he picks Cavaliers and Arnett players based on that, he already stated it clearly. He's not hiding it.
No, but man, you we just say support Mount Pleasant. If you're going to do an interview with Mr. Speid, Mr. Speid win 3, Mount Pleasant never use 5. You're not going to ask Mr. Speid that question.
Well, Mr. Speid is here. You want to ask Mr. Speid?
No, man.
I'm just kidding. He's here. And him looking very serious. Balakar. From what are the Balakar? From me know Mr. Speid at the first. Me see him come on the channel and the man to have a smile, my boss. Me not really know. Better you talk to him, yeah, sir.
Mr. Speid.
Yeah.
Where go on with now, bossy?
But there, I look for you and Mr. Management, the better one right now.
Tomorrow, my game, you know.
Tomorrow. What happened tomorrow?
No, tomorrow the tier 2 will start, man.
Balakar coach team and gone tier 2, you know, man.
When team name?
Mr. Speid, no, man. Mr.
Even know say you there Duncans and make things.
No, Mr. Speid, no, because Mr. Speid tell me say, Mr. Speid they give me some tip and say when we know me must forward back and me the company Unseen show when they talk about the Cavalier and we'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, man. So who you play tomorrow?
We play one team of St. Elizabeth tomorrow.
St. Bess.
Yeah.
Yeah, them. Well, I don't know if them top baller they them have one really good striker away. But I'm not sure if he make the overseas and come back. So yeah, them not bad, but them tend to look a bit of some older players. So you know.
They have some older players. But Balakar say yeah, go ahead.
But here when Mr. Speid I say no call me take it.
Yeah, take notes.
No, them have a top striker, you know, with just as good as Raheem Edwards, you know, or better, you know. But him did get a contract and go overseas. So I'm not sure if he's there back. Him really good. Cause he was the one who was going to come to Cavalier out of the tier 2. I forget him name, but I don't think he's there because I think him gets up overseas. But as I say, them have some older players. So I mean, depends on how you make up of your team. I don't know, but you should do well.
Remember me
tell they are a good team.
Get some young baller mix with some experience, but the team young man.
That's good.
So you don't get any of the school boys coming out of the Dacosta Cup.
We did have what 3 of them from last year played in the playoff and also the league.
Okay.
We have schoolboy on my team, man.
Okay, so what you do? You sell baller this season in the window, or are them just you transfer baller out of the club and transfer baller in the club in preparation?
Yeah, man. we have some big transfer coming in. You understand?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Depend
What do you mean? Big money or big players? Which one?
both of them.
Yo, you see, tier two. I mean, this year it kind of was geared for make sure some of the new teams them survive. It not so expensive. It's 2 zone, 8. You play
Yeah,
it and then
yeah.
you go cross zone. So yeah, it was trying to make sure say it survive. I think it's a good competition because as you can see, Racing and Chapelton, the teams that come up last year, they just went to the bottom of the Premier League and stayed there. With the tier two, you can see the teams that come up now, them competitive. So it's a good stepping stone before you come to the Premier League, I think. So you have to just do your thing, Balaka, make sure say you step right, get your structure right, and then you come to the Premier League if you can.
Yeah.
But your team in a position, Balakar, that if you were to qualify for the Premier League, you guys are prepared for that, and you can survive that, and you can manage that.
Well, him not reach us yet. Everything is a learning process. So once him go through this round and learn how to adapt and survive, then it make it easier. So him never answer that question yet. Him not reach us yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that Mr. Speed said the right way.
Okay. Somebody's asking if the number 8 at William Nib is a Duncan's player.
The number 8 from William that played this year or the one that played last year?
I don't know. You have any William Nib players in the team?
Yeah, me have a William player, but not the one, not this year though. I think it's a year ago.
Okay.
Sign him in the transfer window.
Oh, he's saying that yes, this year, the one who played this year.
No, some of them gonna play for the Allen United, so.
Oh, that is Mr. Tinger team.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think he's not gonna just go and gym them, so. You understand?
But then again, Balakar, a lot of people try to jump straight in the Premier League from where you are. I think it's more important that you build. So even if you stay 2 years, not year 2, there's no issue because what you do is build out your infrastructure and improve the player them. So when you come to Premier League, if you have to buy 15 players, so you're almost doomed already. So,
Yeah. That's why we have some younger players, so with the experience and everything coming up. By the time them we reach up there, so that, them
But
probably.
Balakar, you should have played Cavalier. Could have see a team and give you some tips.
Yeah.
Anytime Balakar want a match, him can play Cavalier. No bother with the foolishness, management. Yeah, you hear me, man? I'm not hearing anybody.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, man, they have some good players up there, and so you see me.
All right, Balakar, Mr. Speed have some connection issues. I'm going to speak to him because
yeah, man.
Oh, him see him gone there now because I want to talk to him about the Cavaliers games and some ticket because I know one person had reached out to me asking me if the price was right for the tickets.
For the Mount Pleasant Cavaliers game?
No, man, for their Champions League game. So let me talk to Mr. Speed because him internet in and out.
Price. All right, yeah, man. We'll go in the comment section.
All right, big up yourself, man, and all the best tomorrow in your game.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, Chris King. I hope the connection is better now and everybody's seen. All right, Mr. Speed, welcome again. Before we even get into yesterday's game, a lot of people have been asking about the ticket prices. The ticket prices for that they're out early for the game in March, right? And I think that one of the first things people are asking, I know one person called and asked me if it is a legit thing that the ticket for the boxes are $320 US. And I say, yeah, it's not, because he was saying that he didn't want to buy the ticket and somebody had tried to scam him. All right. So I said, yeah.
Somebody will try to scam him and him see it from Carib Ticket. They're a provider for tickets. So whatever you see there, that's the, just make sure you authenticate says Carib Ticket. They are the ones handling the tickets online for us. And so, no, man, is it a scam? It's true. That's the price for now. And there's a cutoff point at the end of the month for those prices.
What do you mean the price for now? So meaning that the price, this is an early bird price, Or
Yes,
this
is
is
that
okay.
early bird price, sir.
So I guess what you're saying is that if we end up that you're gonna play a Messi, the price gonna go up. Is that what you're suggesting?
Both that and the demand. Because if the tickets sell out, for whatever reason, so I could put it, say if it's the demand and these tickets sell out and we go to the next price range. Yeah, that's really what gonna happen.
All right. So there's grandstand ticket, bleachers tickets, and and royal box tickets, right?
So there's different grandstand tickets. You have grandstand, you have VIP, and you have VVIP. There's 3 different category of grandstand tickets.
Okay. So you
And on
have
the bleachers, there's 2 different category.
okay. All right. So for people who want to get tickets, all right, you can give us I mean, they can check Caribtix, right?
Yeah,
To
characteristics.
the prices are there. All
Yes.
right. Do you have that on hand that you can say, all right, bleachers ticket, here are the 2 prices. And it
Yeah,
offers you
yeah.
half
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
Yes. For bleachers early bird, you can get tickets for 1,000 Jamaican dollars.
Oh, yeah.
If you take bleachers premium, is $2,000. So everybody gonna ask me what is bleachers premium.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we invent the category. It is liquor grandstand. That's what they call liquor grandstand. Right at the half line on either side. That's bleachers premium. Which you get water and maybe a snack in bleachers premium, right? So and that's $2,000 now. Then I think for grandstand is 3,000, 4,000 for VIP and 6,000 for VVIP. So those are the prices that is available right now.
Okay. And then the box tickets are for 320. What does that include?
That include you get to sit down beside some very important people. You get refreshments, and half time you get to go inside of the hospitality room and mingle with those people, sit in the box and have something to eat. That type of treatment you get.
Okay, which is really, if people know the National Stadium, it is like that, what they call the royal box. Is people will be sitting in that almost at half line royal box area. And you say you'll get your refreshment in there, you'll be served and all that kind of a thing. You don't have to move except you want to go to the bathroom.
No, half time you go to the hospitality room and eat anything you want in
Oh,
the
okay.
hospitality room.
Okay. So there'll be and that is only for people who have the box tickets, not the
Yeah.
VVP tickets.
On the VIP persons, yeah, you will get your snacks and your water just the same. Yeah. So you'll get some good treatment there. And there's also the boxes, which runs at about 5,000 US for a box. That is up the top. I mean that you can carry your friends and your family if you can afford that amount of money. And of course, again, but in those cases, you have food right through, drinks right through, liquor
So
right through.
freedom street idea, yeah, come up with, man.
No, they do that for Jamaica games. It's 4,500 for normal national team games for those boxes. It's not nothing new.
Okay. Okay, interesting. All right. And how are the ticket sales going so far?
Well, I didn't check. I don't really know at this particular point in time. But to me, it's a case where you play your cards, you get the price, you get some early bird tickets now. If you and it's a gamble because we don't know who's coming. But just think about it. What the price could be if the right person coming and the demand skyrockets. So you have to decide if you want to take a gamble now or not. The game will be played regardless of who comes. So that is sure. So that will happen.
I say Shavan Peart. I big up Mr. Wayne Thompson. Mr. Wayne Thompson, blessed love to you, management, and all on the platform. Big up yourself, former president out there in St. Thomas. Are we supposed to talk, Big up yourself, Shavan Peart, who says, one, Speid, biggest coach in Jamaica. All right, we soon get into that. All right. Shavan Peart also says, will the National Stadium field be ready though? And I think he's talking about given the Freedom Street concert, will the pitch be ready and pass?
Well, we have issues, but there's really no other venue for the game to be played. I mean, the only other I'm sure Sabina Park won't be any better because they're playing cricket there now. Montego Bay, we all know the quality of the Montego Bay pitch. Even if it gets better than the stadium, there's no lighting there. The lighting is about 400 or 500 lux. No, it could even be up to 600 lux. But the truth is, you need 1,000, and the only two venues that have 1,000 is Sabina Park and National Stadium. So that alone tells us that the match must be played in one of those two venues. Yeah, some people say grass grow in 7 days. No, grass take long for growing now if people know about agriculture. It's not a good time for growing grass because the time is kind of colder than any other time. So yeah, it's gonna be a little struggle. But I expect the people at National Stadium to remember that in March, there's not just our game, remember, there's the World Cup qualifiers coming up. So I expect them to get to work and get the pitch prepared and ready on time.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit. You say in March.
I don't know if you're hearing me, but I'm not hearing you. I'll come out and come back in and see if that helps.
All right. Yeah, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Where was I? What you heard last?
Yeah, you said that you were saying that it wasn't only the Cavaliers game that is in March.
Right. The Gold Cup qualifier for Jamaica is in March. Woman away with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's in March.
Yeah,
So,
but I think that is sometime clashing with champs, and I think the last time I think there was a suggestion by Mr. Simpson on the press conference from the GFF that they may look at playing the like reversing the legs so the stadium can be used. Interesting times. Yeah, interesting times. Question from Mr. Speid. What is the highest license held by any coach in Jamaica right now?
as far as I know, is a A license.
Okay.
I think for the person in Jamaica, there's Jamaicans who, at least one Jamaican who I know have a pro license, that was born here, and that would be.
No, and in Jamaica, like
Yeah,
person
is
in
A
Jamaica.
license. A license. As far as I know, is a A license.
Right.
Yes.
So you have some people like in Jamaica who oftentimes they will say, like, for example, they did this back in England, they did this in Germany, they did this in this place, and they did this in America. None of those are above the A license that is available now from CONCACAF. Just make that clear
No,
to the people.
I need to. No, there. It's not just like that. Let me explain something to you. Right. In coaching, license means something. So, for instance, most people don't bother with even the D license anymore. They might have a C prep, right? And they usually go to a C prep or a D license because the person would have not had any type of coaching education before in their life. So, but C and D license is introductory, And what it does is gears towards teaching grassroots. And we know the definition for grassroots. Grassroots is players, beginner players anyway. Whether it's and they haven't reached a certain level. So it's for beginners who haven't reached a certain level, whether it's kids or adults. So that is how you get you do a C license to teach those people. When it comes to a B license, what you have in a B license category is elite youth and top amateurs. So right, a A license is to teach like a transition. When you're transitioning from amateur to a professional, that's where you want somebody who would coach those teams with an A license. And as you know, a pro license is really for professional teams and national teams. So they are kind of geared towards achieving different things. Did you hear what I just said a while ago, Marlins one?
Go ahead, man. The people are hearing you. That is important.
Right. So all 4 licenses are geared towards different things. B, D, dog, and C for cat, they are for grassroots players who don't know all the fundamentals of the game yet. It's beginners. It's more technical, right? Not tactical, more technical. That's what they teach them. When you come to B, then they start teach you how to play the game and you start really learn for coach, and that is for elite youths and top amateur. A license is really for the transition from amateur to professional, whether it's amateur older players or top elite youths. Is really the transition, and then pro license is for professional teams and national teams. So in any jurisdiction that you go, CONCACAF, UEFA C is not equal to CONCACAF B, because CONCACAF B is teaching something different. So anywhere you go, the C in UEFA, CONCACAF, Oceania, South America, the C is the same thing they teach. Grassroots. And when you come to B, it's the same thing they teach in all of them. And when you come to A, it's the same thing on pro. So you can't substitute, say CONCACAF is it, and substitute C for B. No, it's not the same course. And that's the mistake a lot of people making. So then go wherever they go. And that license higher than what we teach out here. No, it don't higher. It's a different license, different makeup, and it's for a different reason.
Okay. All right. So well answered. All right. Well said. All right. Let's just jump. Any more transfers for Cavaliers? I notice you get the young Ocherius High striker Kenu Reed. Yes. I see he's there. We have one we have a call coming. Let me just take this call and then we'll come back to and the next player that I saw, very young player. I understand that he has always been a Cavaliers player. But we have one of the young content creator here. He goes by the name 433 Presser. Welcome to the show. Good sound like you know this person, man, Mr. Speid. You're laughing, you're chuckling, man. You know him.
Big
Yeah,
up,
man.
Mr.
Big
Speid.
up, Preston. Big up.
I have a question. A couple years ago, I was doing my courses in America, but just at the grassroots level. Hopefully, I continue them soon. But it's until I was doing the online courses, and I contacted the US Federation recently, and they was telling me that it's quite different compared to the in-person ones. So I have to go to the in-person one them to write. But from a coaching perspective, in terms of the theoretical things and the practical side of the game, in terms of you as a coach, right? And you winning the Jamaica Premier League, which one you think is more important in terms of coaching players? Is it the theoretical side of things, or more so the practical side in terms of what you do in training? Or because some coaches different, like they more emphasize the theoretical side of the game and some more practical in terms of their approach.
Well, what we do, all our courses, we try to make sure we have over 60% practical and less theory, because at the end of the day, the game is played in the book. It is played on the field all the time. So I would think that any coach that wants to excel, they would do more practical than theory. Much more like you're probably a ratio about 90 to 10. Yeah, of course, you have to talk about it, but at the end of the day, the practical, go through the scenarios, go through the moments, to me, is more important than anything else.
And so, seeing that you're a coach, what is one thing that you would say that coaches in Jamaica struggle with? Is it the practical or like, say, communication, for example? Because I remember Oral Tracy saying that it doesn't really matter which license you have, you can have to have something else there as a coach.
First, let me interject. Sorry, I'm going to keep it. You cannot talk about coach and then you put Oral Tracy in the thing for ask the question.
No. What I mean is, you can have a big license in a money, right? But it doesn't necessarily make you a good coach. So I'm asking Mr. Speid, right? In terms of coaching in Jamaica, I know that a lot of coaches have the license in Jamaica, but what is one thing that you'd say that they struggle with in terms of them developing our players? Is it more so getting the information across, which would be lack of communication, or is it something else?
He's going to answer you. I think he got a call. So yeah.
But you get what I say, man, right?
So what you want to know is, are the coaches in Jamaica struggling because they're not able to communicate what they have learned?
Yeah, or relay the information
to the
properly,
players?
because coaches, yeah.
Or what is the second part? Or what? Versus what?
Versus like maybe something Mr. Speid can touch on, maybe my dancer for that. Versus maybe just not having enough of the coaching education that will help them.
So they don't have the information to pass on. So the question is, do they have the information in theory, but cannot get it over to the players in terms of communicating it for them to the players to practice and become good? Or is it that they don't have enough information for the enhanced development of the player? Is that what you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So let me, cause I coach, right?
Yeah.
So you can get players to play by constant practice. It's kind of difficult to arrive at the same end by constant theory. So even what you call theory, if you do blackboard, or now you have like the tablets with all the stuff on it and you use the markers.
Right.
With all of that, you still have to go on the field and actually, you know?
Right. So there's a lot of permutations. So nothing is really in black and white. But Presa is still here?
Yeah, man, he's still there.
Yeah.
So
if it is that the coaches are not able to communicate the theory that they learn in the courses to develop the players, are there something else that is wrong?
No, that's not it. That's not it. Right. In every profession in the world, football is no different, right? There's a reason why you have top surgeons and other people go through the same course and they are not top surgeons. There's a reason why you have top business people and other people go through the same course and they are not top business people. I can give you an example. If Pep Guardiola leave City now, I am sure that they'll employ none of those coaches that him have working with him as the head coach. We have seen it happen over and over at Man U, all about the place. The assistant coach, Sir Alex Ferguson, just never get the job, right? Because to succeed is not just knowledge alone you have to have. You have to have a certain type of charisma. You have to have a certain type of work ethics. In a coaching, it have to be something where the players believe in you all and you tell them bulls. So you see, I am a finance person and I know that, you know, people give me top jobs, give me important jobs, but there's people who are professor in finance who will run rings around me if we start to have a conversation, but that don't mean anybody would give them a business to run. You see where me I come from, Presa?
Yeah.
So don't believe because a man do a badge, make him go be successful. That it don't guarantee it, because everybody at City, all the rest of Premier League clubs, them have them pro license. But nobody's going to employ them to coach a team. They are still going to look for Ancelotti and Pep and Tuchel and, you know, a very few, you know, coaches just come in and then give them a chance after a while. But it's because them probably go in our next league and boss it, so you see them come back at the English Premier League. So we kind of look a bit too hard on our coaches. When we educate 300 coach, maybe it's just like players, where 1% of them come through, or just 1% of them will come through as top coach again. You see my point?
Yeah, fair enough. The last question is the recent, like, emphasis on coaching education in Jamaica and coaches getting the license, etc. Have you seen any little bit of improvements in terms of the development of the players to any extent?
Not a little, dramatic improvements in terms of teams compare tactics and counter tactics and people trying to adjust to different people's style. There's been a dramatic improvement, but don't take my word for it. Just look at the results in 2024. When last have we won a women tournament in a CFU? We won one last year under 20, Jewel of the Caribbean. When last have we won a under 14 boys tackle in the Caribbean? Probably 10, 15 years ago. We won one last year. Arnett Garner won the Caribbean Shield. Cavalier won the Caribbean Cup. When last have we won those? That performance in a 4 different tournament with Jamaican players is telling us a story that there is improvements. Even although COVID decimated our preparations, because we came back like 2 years after everybody, we're still able to win these things. I know Trinidad have their team, like their under 20 team, and those teams in training for like over 2 years. They're a high performance center long before we start to have our technical, our thing, and we are able to still be ahead of them. So yes, there has been dramatic improvement in the coaches, the teams at the coach performances. Because you can see a lot of the people that, say the badge now on a use and them now have to do it and all of that, you can see the performance of their team now as against a lot of young upstart people who do the A license. The A license one, Manning Cup, the Costa Cup, Champions Cup, whatever, that is what is happening. So you can see it start to manifest itself. More teams have a chance in a Man Cup and the Costa Cup. You can see it start to manifest itself as we speak. And I think it's gonna just get better and better.
Let me ask you, Carla, one question. How do you define or describe the theory of football? What constitute the theory for you, Carla?
The theory of football.
When you say the theory or the theoretical part, what are the specific that you're referring to?
I would say more so the mentals of like maybe like the systems that you deploy, etc., in training. So like you would go in just like classroom, for example, and you have the 4-3-3 formation, and like there's certain fundamentals in the book that you have to learn, but then it's different in terms of employing that in the practical side, which you do it on the training.
No. They go hand to hand. So they go hand to hand.
What theory? That's what I'm saying. I think the first place that you need to understand is probably get a comprehensive understanding of what the theory of football entails, because some of what you touched on is actually practical.
No. What he's saying, there's nothing. All I say, no, man. Nothing is wrong with the way it's just an understanding that he needs. So every good team, the coach come and then develop a game model, right? Once he develop a game model, that is in theory first, and he understand the moments. So he start to decide how he wants his team to play in the moments, and these moments can be derived from the type of players you have, or the coach just love to play a particular way. All of those things is a part of what happened. So now everybody can say, oh, I love how my team playing a counter attack, and I love a team that play tiki-taka and possession base. So now you have the theory. Then you have to go decide what are the training programs that will allow your team to play like that. And that is where the practical part comes in, that if you did 100% theory, the team will never play like that, because theory is a different thing, because you're playing in the theory, you don't have opponents. But once you go on the field, you have opponents. So when you start to go through how you want the team play, and then you start to see the match resistance from you playing like that, or people resisting you, then you realize that you have to practically you have to work out all of the kinks them and all of what the next team are going to do. And that takes a lot of practice. And that is why practical is so essential. Theory alone won't do it. The other thing that in football and with any profession, you must have heard about the 10,000 hour rule. Theory don't give you the 10,000 hour rule. You have to be practicing and living it for it to become a reality.
Yeah. What
Just
I know.
imagine,
Go ahead.
you have an athlete, a run 100 meter, and a theory him study.
That is the point I was going to make, because Kobe Bryant, when you look at some of the great players, the Kobe Bryant, those guys didn't get great because he was somehow uh like reading some books. He was shooting shots constantly. So the practice is I think has a greater emphasis. There's a greater emphasis because whatever the theory is, it can be applied in a practical sense. So
Correct.
I can teach players the 4-3-3, right, without necessarily going through some sort of book and giving them like stuff by constant practicing them in certain position and stuff. But then, and you understand me, because now I can, like I say, I can give them an overview of a system even down the road. This is why we do it. But it is important that the players actually practice, be on the field, be engaged, because that will help them to adapt and to adjust and get used to the nuances of the system or the formation
Well,
or the
not just the nuances. This is why, that true, but this is why
Man.
yeah, man. All
some
right.
people,
Yeah.
why some people believe. So I could just go back to the football on a holistic view. The Europeans them tend to be very structured in how they play, right? The South Americans them tend to be more relationism, right? So they believe in more relationship with the players, or them think alike and all of that. While European is structured, if you're there on the ball tight, go to the weak side, that type of thing. They train the players all the time. The truth be told is that only both of them has won the World Cup, 21 or 22 times. One win 12, one win 10, something like that, right? So there's a whole heap of merit towards both systems. But I think I think at the end of the day, every system is suicide to another system. There's a system that every system is suicide to, unless you learn how to beat the kings them when certain things happen in the game. And that is why the practical is so much important than theory, because if you decide, say, you got high press a Spanish team, say like a Jamaica team, you're committing suicide, which we have done when we go play Catalonia. So it's obvious, say, you couldn't just come and say the theory is for high press. No, not against Spain when them invite you to press. You see where me is now? So then now you would have to go out on the field and say, even if me I got press, come and think me should press with 3 or press with 4. Don't the theory say press with 6, but against certain teams you press with 6, that's the end of you. So the point with theory is very good, but at the end of the day, you have to think about who you are play against too. And then you go up on the field and work through what work and what don't work.
Yeah. Solid point. Let's until we have a next caller. Yesterday, I mean, I thought your club. The one thing I must say from yesterday is that in the interviews you made no excuses about the major absentees. Because I think you had at least 5 players that, if available, they would have possibly been starters.
6.
I don't know if all 6 would have started.
Yeah, they would. Unless you start Coach Cavalier, we never really know. Say again.
I don't know if
I know.
Alex would have started. I'm not sure. I've seen Dwayne Allen on the bench several times this season. I don't know how it have started. Dwayne Allen, Ronaldo, Barrett,
Doing both of them start against Montego. Don't even bother go there. But it's fine. Make up your arguments.
So I am glad though that at the end of the game you never made any excuses, right? Because I think Mount Pleasant on the day deserved 3-0 win. All right. And like I was there, you made some adjustments, in terms of how you played in the second half and stuff. But you can see that the leadership of King was missing, especially in organizing the defense. How is the youngster? Because I know he came off in the first half. He was a former Mount Pleasant player as well.
Yeah. He's good. He's good. Him just look like it's the occasion overhaul him. That's what they look like.
Right. And I was also talking about, I'm still get back to the game about the young Ocherius player that you got into the team. And there's a player who had a good season at Jamaica College, but I understood that he was a Cavaliers player from before. That um, thick built winger. Played for Jamaica College in the Manning Cup. Name
He was also a national under-17 champion. He played for Cavalier in that tournament. Won.
Okay, what's his name?
Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis, right. Good player. Good player. Had a good Manning Cup season. I understand that he has the opportunity if he wants to go back to school. But here's the issue now, because part of the interview, you kind of alluded to the fact or the reality that this don't matter. Because one of the things you said is that Mount Pleasant defeated you by a 0-0 last season.
No, it wasn't a goal to nil. It was 2-0.
2-0, and then you ended it right. You kind of did that, right. No, a lot of people are saying that isn't this sort of pointless because none of these games really matter. Basically, what you're saying is that none of these games that are being played now really matters.
I don't say that though, but
no, that's not. All right. Do these games really matter?
No.
And for what reason?
What I said.
Yes.
It don't matter who I'm playing. We have a way of giving young players a certain amount of minutes each year, depending on their age and where they are in their development. Somebody asked me, why did I carry so much kids? I said, no, them need to get certain amount of minutes. They need to get certain amount of exposure. And it don't matter who I'm playing, I will do it things the Cavalier way. That is how we have done it for the last 6-7 years, and we will continue to do it, whatever the results.
No, but my point is, because the bigger issue is how the league is played. Mount Pleasant could, again, like last year, finish at the top of the table at the rate that they are going. All right?
No,
and
not just Mount Pleasant. The last 6 years, nobody will finish at the top one the league.
I think that is the point you made in the thing. All right.
Yeah.
So is that the best way for the league to operate? That is the question I really want to ask. Because what is the incentive? What is the benefit then for team to play? If you finish the top of the league, there's no difference between you and a team that finished 6th. So if I amass 80 points and you finish 6 and I have 20, there's no difference.
That's not true.
What is the difference?
If you're finishing first or second, you're 3/4 ways to go to the Caribbean Cup because a 1, 2, 3 qualify for that tournament.
Oh, I see.
So there's a bonus right there, first or second.
Okay. All right. So therefore, the incentive is not the trophy at the end. The incentive is, or part of the incentive is qualifying for the CONCACAF tournament.
Either Caribbean Cup straight for the first 2 or the third go to the Shield and can get up or way to the, yes, that's what I think.
Here's what I believe. I agree with Dan Gargan that there should be a prize or incentive or some trophy, and you call this the regular season champion, and then you have the playoffs.
It's only because you guys only exposing yourself to what is happening local. There's a lot of leagues in the world, like the Scottish League, where they split the top 6 and the bottom 6 in a 2 different categories. And the top 6 play for the trophy and the bottom 6 play for avoid relegation. There's a whole heap of different methods of people choose them champion. You guys just fixate on the English Premier League because that's the one that watch all the time. Look, there's a reason because Jamaica people love a final. They love a final. They want to see semi-final and final. That's when them come out. That's when the sponsor believe they get them value for their money. This is our environment. And we're not going to change it because one team or a couple team will win. Because we were there before, we used to play a league where the person with the most points win. And that's not the environment when nobody wants in Jamaica, except a few people. Every year, the one club will come first. That's the environment where they want. Nobody else don't want it.
Donovan Ducky had this issue some years ago as well. I think it was it Waterhouse or Humble Lion?
No, it's a different issue than Donovan Ducky had. He said him didn't want to wait to
No,
play.
man.
Not different issue Ducky have. Him never. You talk about Teagat Davis, who had the issue with Arnett. Donovan Ducky issue was that he had to sit down for 1 month and not play because he come first or second.
All
Two
right.
different issues.
Here's my point, Mr. Speed. Just by suggestion. So a team wins the regular season. I think that team should, part of the incentive, if they're not getting any cash, they're not getting any trophy. All right, they get one of the qualification spots to whatever the CONCACAF thing is. And then, right? That's what I believe. They automatically qualify, right? Or they still...
I don't believe that. So that's what you believe. I believe in whatever the regulations say, and everybody sign off on it before we start the competition. I don't know why anybody wants to change it in the middle of the competition. I mean, I agree with that.
No, I'm not. No, the regulation is the regulation, but regulations can be changed for the next season.
Yeah, but I'm not an advocate of that. So it don't matter to me what you say. I'm not an advocate for the regulation to change. But if they put in a regulation change that says we go to a league, which I think Cavalier used to play in that once, I'm fine with that too. All I can say, whatever the regs is, I'm fine to go along with it. And then that is a case time when Cavalier would have to change how they approach the league. But for now, we're playing with what the regs say.
Okay. All right. I hear you, boss.
But I also think that with a development, we are a development league, I don't think anybody could really say we're a professional league, because very few players in our league can earn a living so they can buy a house or a car from our league. So we still don't have the amount of money to pretend that it's a fully professional league. It's a development league. And based on a development league, you'd want clubs to be able to boss young players, for want of a better word, because if they have quality, they know that they'll still have a chance to play for the title, but at the same time, they develop the players them. So, for Cavalier, we can't make any bones about it. We play the league for whatever it's worth. If it comes to a test where them say is the most points, then we have to approach it different. But for now, we approach it in the best way, that suits the club.
All right. So, all right, that being said, totally understand. All right. Now, in recent times, I've heard complaints from, I can say it because the Republic. I've heard complaints from the racing coach about this matter. The Cavaliers coach has complained about this matter. The Mullins coach has complained about this matter. The Waterhouse assistant coach complained about this matter. Harborview assistant coach spoke about this matter, and I could name a couple of others earlier in the season.
What is the matter?
The matter is the officiating, and a lot of the argument is the coaches are improving. Are the officials improving at the same rate that the coaches are improving? Because there are so many what losing coaches say or tying coaches say are bad decisions. All right. Is there a program in place to lift the level of the officiating from your perspective? I believe that we probably in the region we have some of the better officials because they normally get a lot of assignment in terms of CONCACAF and stuff like that. So it does say that something good is happening with our officiating, but it's a constant every match weekend, every round, a coach complains about officiating. And you see some calls that you wonder. So
I think this is the most that these coaches has ever trained. I think the training concept, referees has ever trained in the history of Jamaica. I mean, the last 2 years. I think they have a new person, Cardella Samuels, and she has done a good job to ensure that there's adequate training. I know that a lot of times they're at the JFF Technical Center, they camp there for days and then go through whatever they're supposed to go through. I've seen it. I have also seen these referees I'm doing CONCACAF games, and they are good. When I say they are good, I remember seeing one of my referee ref in Dominican Republic, and I was so proud of him. He make all the right calls. He was on top of the game. He was fit. He makes some courageous call, and all of them turn out to be right. And I was saying, whoa, I was really proud to be a Jamaican, and I was just watching. And there was a Jamaican ref, so I know that they are good. Somehow the standard does not remain the same with the same refs when they are locally, and that's really my problem. But I must say,
Okay, but Mr. Speed, let me interject. Go ahead. All right, you go ahead. Finish.
no, but I must say, a lot of times I would have gotten the tape when the referee makes the mistake, and I send them to Cardella Samuels, and they might not publish it, but I know that for a fact that they bring it up with the referees and say, what is happening here with these calls? The problem that I'm having is that a lot of these coaches, them Jim Screechy and say something, and they would have never tape it and send it into the powers that be, to Cardella Samuels, let me call out her name, so she can, because they have a panel of referees that look at these calls, and decide if the right calls were made, and them announce punishment to referees too. So
Really?
yes, referees have to sit out 2-3 games when they make mistakes. Them don't publicize it, but I know that it happened. But I'm telling you, all of these coaches, all them do a complain, and then don't take out the clip and send it to the referee boss and say, listen, this is what happened. And I think part of the problem is them, and because they're not doing it, which them need to do if they want to lift the league too. And I every time them do me anything, I clip them out and send it to the referee boss and say, look here, look what happened. Sometimes they come back and say, Speed, nothing wrong with the call, or then come and then say, yes, it call wrong, etc., etc. So, as I said before, we are Jamaicans, they all would just talk and we just know help the situation and that. And I think they should help more.
Mr. Speed, and this is just from my watching of the league. I think the referees in the league look the way they do because they are more lenient in the league than when they are in like CONCACAF competition. I am telling you that if the referees in our league were to apply the same levels in the local league, when I watch the game, I see like multiple red cards per team, per match day weekend. I would say that the last game at Draxall, I saw a couple of fouls that I think could have been yellow cards. I saw one high foot that I think that could have been a card. I saw some tackles that yellow card could have amounted to. I can't say it was a dirty game. I wouldn't want to say it was a dirty game. But most times when I watch I'm wondering how that is not a straight red. And I think that the referees accept the level of aggression in our league, and it normally backfires against them because outside of that, I think they'll be dishing out a lot of red cards. The other thing is that our players don't play the same way when they play outside of Jamaica, Mr. Speed. They don't. I watch the Caribbean Club Championship and Shield. They don't tackle as aggressive and play as aggressive as when they're playing in the local league. So the referees have that issue, and the players also help to compound it.
So there's 2 things that I need to tell you, because when people talk to me about refereeing, I always, even my player say, coach, I always say, you see here you call me coach, you never call me referee. Referee knows more things than you know, man. As far as I know, when I speak to referee, because I speak to them fairly often, if me not sure about something, no curious me vex, me still go ask on referee, was I right when me vex, right? I still go ask the next referee, right? And so, for instance, referee really try to keep the 22 players on the field. They try. That is their first obligation to try. Is when a player don't want to stay, them send them off. So you see how them think? So them not thinking that them go on the field and send off players. Which is, so there's a little bit of difference in how you just suggest that them should send them off. So them sometimes they try warn them, but if you look like you really don't want to stay, then them will send you off. And they also have some rules that say the second offense has to be worse than the first yellow card offense for them to send it off, unless it's a mandatory yellow card. So them have all of these rules where them go by, So we might just say, yes, that's a next yellow card, but him realize that it's probably not as bad as the first one. Why send keep the 11, 12 players and make the game be a real game. So, yeah, I think there are some issues there and some interpretation issues, but I still agree with you that the players in Jamaica, them a little bit too aggressive when them out here. And they know that when they go CONCACAF, them all get cards, so they not do it for true. So, as you say, you have to find a balance. So maybe one at the start of a season, you know, you refer them, do them thing, and then some people might learn some lessons. Maybe. I don't.
Yeah, because the truth is, like I said, while I don't, I think the for me, I think the officiating has been good. There have been some dodgy offside call, but I would say to that, this is a league without VAR. All right, and even with VAR, people are still complaining about the officiating in the EPL with VAR. And so when we don't have VAR, and I see people arguing about some 50-50 handball, some 50-50 offside without VAR, and I think we don't give the referees credit that they don't have no replay to look at. They don't have that.
So like the other night, there was a goal that was scored where the ball crossed, the player kicked the ball on his own hand and it going at the goal. I saw it, that the ball licked the player hand, before it going at the goal, No, so you might say, but there was nobody in front and they are going at the goal anyway. But the rules say, if it touched the forward and any at all, it don't matter. It not supposed to be it must be called back. So that's why I mean Arsenal goal in at the VAR. That's where the rule.
It didn't touch his hand though.
Well, if it didn't touch it, that's different. But the VAR think it touched. So I'm saying that's a rule that the referee can decide if them call it or not. It's just a rule. So there's some things that is just a rule. The referee have no discretion in those things. And we have to be wary of those. So the one that was scored that night, yes, the forward hit the ball on his own and then it going on there. He hit it hard, but it bubbled up and then going on the net. It probably just happened too fast for them to see it. But I saw it, and I was saying, whoa, that should have been called back. They probably didn't see it, or even if they see it, they wasn't sure, and they allowed the goal. So, yeah, it's difficult some of the time. I can understand like that call, because that one was really difficult to make, unless you're able to see it on the replay. The replay was the thing that confirmed it to me, that's what happened. It's difficult. There's an offside call to which never looked like it offside again. From where we are, you're never sure unless you were able to get a shot from the side and at VAR. So it's difficult for the referees some of the time. The ones them that are fine, that them not called when are difficult, you're concerned about that. But clearly there's some difficult ones. Some of them to me easy and relegation calls. So those they should always make.
I think there was a game earlier this year with the ball. I think it was a racing game. The ball actually crossed the line. But I'm saying that in the EPL, for example, they have the goal line technology. Jamaica don't have that, so referees are going to miss some of those things because
we don't have and we can't afford it.
Well, that is true. That is true. So that is part of it. So that's one of the things I think. I will say one of the things I noticed that Mount Pleasant has done this year is that they have trained less at Draxall. So I find that the surface at Draxall is way better this year than last season. It's not as bumpy.
No, stop that footing some years, yeah, man. I mean, come on.
No, man, the surface was not bumpy. Yesterday
the surface, there was a lot of water underfoot.
Yeah,
People, there was no rain falling, so there was a lot of water underfoot. People, their studs was clogging up. There was some water that you could actually step in the water and down at the bottom part of the field. I mean, when we are talking about field still, we understand. No, we understand. We understand. But we know one year, but we don't know 1 year, but we understand. So we now have good fields in Jamaica, but let us not boast about any field. I mean, it kind of starts on.
I am not boasting because my thing is I'm going to talk about the surfaces. I think the other thing that is critical to the quality of the league now, because the play is getting better, but I think the surfaces take away from some of the quality. Like I watch a game at Arnett Gardens, nice atmosphere, but the ball would not just run smoothly. You can't trust the pace of the ball, the bounce of the ball, the ball rolling to you. You can't. And so I think yesterday the surface though it got some water, and seeing at least the ball was able to run. I know some of the players were slipping and they need to get the right footwear. That's a different case. Yeah, get the right footwear. You know, when you're traveling, you need to travel with 3-4 pairs of cleats. So you can, depending on what surface you're on, you can change that. And you need to talk to your players about that. Come down. You understand? You need to come down now. Yeah, some of them players need to come down now. Incremental directional, they need to carry 3 pairs of boots and them things. But we have a caller. CC, I want your colleague that talk to Mr. Speid about him say my referee. He never said my referee, he said my referees. He was talking about them being Jamaicans. The man never say referee or fee referee. You see how to interpret things, boss? See me.
Oh yes, Uncle Man, is everything good?
Yeah,
Mr. Speid will go on.
Everything good.
Yeah, man, man.
So good. I just had a question for Mr. Speid. How do you think that we can get the fields to be better? I know it's a big argument, but how do we get the fields to be better for the players to play better? What is your suggestion for that?
Only the government can fix that. Nobody else have the money to do it.
That will never happen. But go ahead, sir.
No,
that was my question. So you need the government to do it.
Yeah, sir. Let me log out and come back in because something wrong with it.
Okay,
go ahead.
He's going to log out and come back in. Yeah. So
I have a question for you to ask Mr. Speid when he comes back, right? So to your point earlier, to make sure the person at the top of the league feels like they're they're playing for something. Why don't they suggest like giving them in the MLS, when you win the league, you get a thing called the supporter shield for the best team of the league for the season. We should have one pair we call the Prime Minister shield. You get that?
I don't think the Prime Minister. I don't think the Prime Minister, that name would sell. Maybe we can call it what can happen, is that maybe the supporters of the club can come together and make a shield, and the team that finishes with the most points of the regular season, that they present it to them and say this is the supporter shield.
No, you can't. No. We don't want to give the supporter shield because then the supporter is going to be biased to one team.
No, but you can't be biased to one team when it's the team with the most points.
Oh well, that's true still, but we don't want the supporters then to give it all. Let's say we have a shield and the best team get that shield for the season, so they can say they can go back to their headquarters and say we have won 15 shields or so forth.
I agree.
And then maybe
I think there has to be some incentive.
Right, and then that team that wins, which is the best team in the league, maybe JFF can give them 4 primetime games with primetime referees, so we can see the referees in primetime, and the world, the country can see the team that won the league last year and why this team won the league. I don't know, maybe that's an incentive. It doesn't cost any money to do that.
Yeah, well, I want the clubs to get something. You understand me? I think
maybe they can get a kickback from the primetime games.
All I'm saying is that Mount Pleasant, for example, this season is on course right now to only have lost like 1 game for the entire season. And they could now go to the semifinals, and lose, and don't
have nothing to show for it.
And nothing to show for it. And don't qualify for nothing. And the team that finishes like Harborview did in 2022. Harborview finished in 6th place and became the champions. And the team that finished in 1st place never got anything at all.
Well, I think a shield would be good because at least you're playing for that shield, and 4 primetime games or 5 primetime games, and maybe the JFF can kick in some money to them based upon the primetime pulling. So there's a reason thing you're playing for.
There you go. I like what Chorus was saying, the President's Cup, but I hear somebody says, we don't have any president, Chorus. We don't have any president, so we're going to call it. How are we going to call it the President Cup and Jamaica don't have the president? You want to turn us into
I did say Prime Minister Cup, and you said no. We never said president. We said Prime Minister's Cup.
I like the supporter shield. But Mr. Speid, all right, Mr. Speid is back. But let me just say, Mr. Speid, I think you're talking about the government That's where you were. The government, after the government not own the fields. Who own the
No,
fields? Not the
of
club.
course. No. Majority of fields in Jamaica where clubs play on is the government own all of them. Some of them is owned
Who
by.
own
do-
Anthony Spalding Sports Complex?
It's not Arnett Garden. There's a trust that own it on behalf of the people of the community. A lot of
Who own
field.
Blues Land?
Well, I know the field that Waterhouse play on is Minister of Education own it because it's a school. You remember say there's a school name Balmaji, whatever the school name, but them keep get us splash. Is them own it. No, you think most clubs cannot afford the land that the field is on. You have any idea how much some of those lands value in the middle of a town? It's not the clubs who own it. A lot of clubs, if capture it and pretend like and don't make nobody else use it. But if you notice, most of the fields that clubs have, clubs play on, is the municipality own it, not the clubs. Just think about it and go right around Jamaica and see what I'm prison
So
over all of them.
what
So,
the club?
so
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Speed,
All right, go ahead, Carla.
so Mr. Speed, so if the fields are owned by a certain, I pronounce the word incorrectly right now. If the field is owned by someone else, is the field doubles as like an event field as well too?
Yes, and that is why most of these club fields, the school that is nearby use it. Some of them is Ministry of Education on the field, not even the clubs. The clubs are more forceful and usually is somebody of influence run our clubs. So then kind of just make it look like it's them control it. But if you look at the paperwork, they don't own anything.
Okay, so but not all, no, but maybe because I don't do it see it all the time. They don't host parties on these fields while the big teams, the Premier League teams play on, right?
No. They don't usually. Because the Premier League teams
Okay.
will not allow it because they know that the danger that some of those poses. But of course, business also would rent it. Other teams would rent it frequently and use it too. I mean, the school, so like Trenchtown, the school name in Arnett Garden, they use the field for their official games.
Charlie
So
Smith.
Charlie Smith, yeah, Charlie Smith. I'm sure Trenchtown too when they used to do it. Same thing with Boys Town. Schools nearby would go and use those fields because the fields are recognized that they are for a particular sports, and anybody in that scenario in that vicinity is able to use it. So I'm saying that government is responsible for their citizens. Government is responsible for their
No,
citizens.
the government are responsible for the citizens, man.
But if
They
you
have
go,
they have
if
a
you go,
responsibility to the citizens. They are not responsible for the citizens. Big difference. The government are responsible for the citizens. What you talking about?
Mr. Speed, so when I watch a certain game,
What are they
some
called?
of it
Let me
feel like
clarify this. So the government
yeah, all right,
responsible
go
for
on, go
you.
on.
The government they're responsible for me. They have a responsibility to me. They're not responsible for me.
but man, every stable government in any civilized world, there's certain basic things that they are responsible for. Your security, your education, your health. They must make sure they provide it and places for people to have recreation. Every single country in the world that say them a first world or a developing up country, they make sure that those things are available um, for their citizens. It's just in Jamaica we take things for granted and don't do it. When I go to Sweden, them have 123 field in the one town. Right town name when we go take up in Gothenburg. You book the field. There's a site where you go and you book the field and go use it. If you say 1 hour, them say yes. Make sure you come off 1 hour, they don't call them will lock you up. But you book the field, you don't have to own anywhere and use it. That's how it is in every civilized. You know, say if you go even Florida, there's venues, there's park there where you can just go set up and go field and mark you out. Of course, with permission and do whatever you want. Every citizen, every country that's serious about them citizen welfare, them offer these things and they have good fields, not and somebody maintain it, not the stone them will play on. I mean, not those. Just check it and see what happens.
Okay. All right, Carla, go ahead.
No, my final question, Mr. Speed might not know this, because then if the government is responsible for it, do we know a schedule of when how often them cut the field, what kind of maintenance? That means
But
none of
them
these things.
don't care, can nobody not demand that. So look here. We make two public places who can walk around here and exercise. Tell me where else you have something for even people go and walk and just exercise. But you have other countries that decide, say, the fitter the people are, is the less them have to go to hospital. It's not like, it's because them understand the cycle, More people when now be sick less, the medical service now have to spend more. So they try to get this balance. Our government not think like that. Them nobody here not think like that. So, 60% of we now know if we go exercise or we can comfortably go walk around and feel so we can go at evening time, go, get a good environment to exercise. We just now treat our citizens them like that, And that's why we are here. So I'm saying, look at the school boys. All right, so those are schoolers. You know how much time I see schoolboy feel we are stone upon it, so if a boy drop and lick all him, made him go that dead. Stone, literal stone upon the field where them playing and that's what is happening. Nobody cares about these things.
Well, normally, I'll give you, when you travel overseas, you see normally how politics works is the constituents have to go and push their councilman or whatever to make sure the field in their neck of the woods is pretty much well taken care of. Because for me to vote for you, you have to take care of the things that I want, and I want the local field to be good so we can go and walk at evening time or we can watch good football. So yes, so we have to put that on the citizens to say, okay, since you don't know, so the government is the one responsible for the field, you got to put some more demands on them for the fields to be better. So that's the only thing. So my last question before I go, Mr. Speed, I earlier said it's the league is a semi-professional league based upon the fact that no one person can say they might kick football and build a house. How many hours does these guys have to practice each week? Because I know a lot of hours helps your football. How many hours these guys put in a week just practicing and playing football, studying methods, studying theories? How much time do you think they put in during the course of the week to get that done?
Everybody different, right? So, I mean, I would say minimum 10, but maybe it's not enough. But people like management favorite team are able to put in more hours because they actually make everybody camp and them have a better setup. So they probably double up where most other people average because of that setup that they have.
Yeah. All right, Carla.
One last, we said 10 hours collective for the week? 10 hours collectively?
Well, we do about 10 hours, 5 days. We train for 2 hours roughly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mr. Speed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
All right.
take care.
Yeah. All right. Some good information there. Good information. I like the idea that the people coming up with, about having some sort of shield at the end of the season. And Mr. Speed, that we need to really, what, one of the things I loved a few years ago, whenever it has been held, when they have that knockout competition with you start with the major league teams, right? And, they probably play in the first round.
It wasn't the major league. It was the knockout champion for each parish.
The knockout champion for each parish. Plus the Premier League teams.
Yes, that's what I usually am. And last time we played, though, it was a tier 2 and the Premier League only. They didn't go back down to the knockout champion.
Yeah, I would love to see. I like that because I feel like some of those games, just like the FA Cup, I think if you were to all play, say for example, you were to end up drawing a team I don't know, Duncans, like Cavaliers versus Duncans, for example, down in Trelawney. I think that would be good for the people down there, and I think it would just, I don't know. We need to find sponsor. Who is the new market? We need to find some sponsor for these things, and run these. I think it is good for the communities, especially those communities that may not have a Premier League team. I remember a team called Nago's Head at one point did well in one of these knockout competitions. They just came up and sing. I like that, and I think we should find a way to reinstitute the knockout as part of the competition. I know there's a lot of games for the teams, but I think it is possible, and maybe the top 6 teams don't participate until it gets down to 16 teams or something like that.
No, I agree with you. It's a good thing for us to have because it's not just the competition; it also establish gaps, which is what I like when. So even a team trying to come to the Premier League in that competition will kind of establish the gap between you and the Premier League club. So it's a really good idea. I just hope that they can find the money next year to bring it back.
Why
But now it's a
JFF
money issue.
for that?
Hmm?
Why they don't call it the JFF Cup?
It's a money issue now, right now, playing. For money.
Okay. Meaning like, but okay, maybe with the name and somebody need to actively. I think this is one of the biggest. I think because you know there are probably some players playing. You can imagine. Just white horses. I don't even know license. They have a team called Wi-Fi over them sides over there. So yeah, you have New Green. You have Sandals White House, I think, and Cavaliers play the game. Those things are nice. All right. Yeah. Prayer versus Mount Pleasant.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. CC.
Yeah, man. Ask Mr. Speed a couple questions still.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Speed, more ask you the first question, right? In terms of I saw a couple interviews recently, and I never really like what the coach them say. So I just want to hear your viewpoint on it in terms of if you have players playing in the league and players play for you, and even if the player don't have a certain quality or thing, for a coach to come out and say, I don't know who told these players, which is his players, that they could play in the Premier League. What's your take on that?
Mr. Speed. Check. Mr.
What's up?
You hearing me, CC?
I'm hearing you.
And I'm hearing you. I am not hearing Mr. Speed. You jinx the call. CC, you jinx the call. But you want to know. Wait. The question is about how the coaches comment about the players and their team.
The question is about the coaches them seem to not have any media training and auto when they're talking about players in terms of saying that your players, which is your players, like I say, you don't know who told some of these players that they could play in the Jamaica Premier League.
Yeah, the question, Mr. Speed.
No, repeat it first.
All right.
The question is, Mr. Speed, recently I've seen some interviews going on with coaches, in the league, just to give some visibility, and I think it's a great thing. But when a coach asks, for example, if I asked you what went on with you and the loss that your loss against Mount Pleasant, and the answer will come out. I don't know who told some of these players they could play in the Jamaica Premier League. What's your take on that?
Yeah, come on, man. You're talking about Jerome Waite, man, down at Tivoli and his interview.
It's not Jerome Waite said that.
You're talking
about
Dumby coach.
It's not Jerome Waite said that. Yeah.
The Dumby Wollen coach. Yeah.
The Dumby Wollen coach.
As I said before, the person who thought they could play in the Premier League is either a coach before him or the management that or some sporting director who employed them. So it's not the players' fault. The players put it themselves to play, and somebody accepted them and give them a contract. So the answer is obvious. We know who did it. It's not a secret. So the coach is a coach's preference to speak like that, which I don't know if I would ever speak like that, but everybody, to their own,
And the next question, Mr. Speed, I understand that part. The next thing I want to ask you, is the Jamaica Premier League restricted to signing local players?
No. You have 6, every club can sign 6 overseas players. There is a movement afoot to increase that amount, but now the number is 6.
Okay, so with regards to in terms of transfers, why would a coach be trying to say there's no quality available in the country locally, and if there is any quality, especially in his team, it's minimal?
Cici, but I understand the question. Cici, you're fighting with your question then. A coach tell you how him feel, and that the man feel. What is wrong with that?
Yeah.
No, man. It's not a matter of say a coach tell you how you feel. No, my thing is this. You see, if you have media training and no say, yo, for example, it seems as if you're speaking from a position of Jamaican players aren't good. So my position is
then the man, what if he believes that? Why him
no,
can't say
I
that?
know say nothing is wrong if you believe that, but you're not restricted to signing local players. If a man ask you if there's any players in the transfer window, you're gonna say the club at this point in time, I don't think we're in a position to afford any player.
But that is what you would answer. Maybe that is not. Who tell us it's a matter of affordability?
But I mean, but you see, as I said before, maybe it's all a misinterpretation because I know that team has signed a right back from Hornet Garden since
that player was with them.
No, but him,
He went to Arsenal.
yeah, but the team, I don't care where the player was. They sign a player outside of the team.
So,
I'm not saying that just we kind of done the argument.
Let me ask you, do you agree with the statements made by the Manchester United coach?
What statements that they made?
The man say, man basically saying a good player now they are Manchester United boss.
If he said no good players at Manchester United, I never hear he said that verbatim. So I'm not gonna say what he not say.
Why I hear him say? Why I hear him say about the players at Manchester United?
I didn't hear it.
All right, I want you to listen to some of the comments from the Manchester United coach and compare them to what the local coaches are saying and see which one is worse.
No, all right, but put it like this, though, man. Yeah, my thing is this: we are promoting the league, right? No, I'm not saying some of the players are okay.
But all right, thank you, Jason Good. Now hold on. The man said this: we are the worst Man U team in history.
He said,
yeah, but he never single out the players. Maybe him single out himself too, and management and everybody. He can't be players alone. He say we.
No, hold on. When the man say the worst, you tell me say that talk about management. No, boss.
No, boss. Him say we.
All right, watch out. Exactly. The man said we are the worst Man U team. We. The man never said these are the worst.
The man said he's frustrated with the squad that he has. Mm-hmm. And that it is the worst team in Manchester United history.
No, but man is man. If a man says the worst team in Manchester United history, the man would be justifiably in his
then how you know said Jerry Thompson justified?
No, I'm saying based on the performance.
Then don't be holding it like almost at the bottom of the table say that not justified.
Yeah, but look, hold on. I say look at it like this, man is man. When me I go tell you, even when people have some vlogger, we are gonna run with it. They just want to hear one negative because them are going to say, you see, them telling you, no ball in there Jamaica. See, coach them say, them things, they brother. I mean, I say some coach talk some things, them come like they don't understand them responsibility for Jamaican football. Then there's a cat the side of their mouth. I mean, I say, when you have to say, because a lot of people must run with it. And for example, Rudolph Speid came and said, when him the busy, I want the best thing in the Caribbean. You know, say nobody now promote that. But the moment Harold Thomas come and say, oh, I worst player than that. We don't know tell them so they can't play in the league. I be a people say post up. See it there? The coach must say it. But they now post up when Rudolph. That's it. Busy are one of the best talent. They now post that. So that is my thing. The coaches have to understand, yes, we don't have the best league. Yes, we don't have the best players in the league. However, it is not something where you come and basically just chastise the players them like that, man. I don't think.
But me know why you say, me say Busy are the best, you know. He has a trophy to prove it. The MVP. Okay.
I put it like this, man. I'm saying the youth are sure say youth are sure is justifying whatever you said, Mr. Speid, and other people have said it. I'm just saying if somebody came and said something positive but a local player, or if not player playing in the Premier League, Jamaica Premier League, nobody is running with that. But as soon as Harold Thomas and Jerome them come with some negative something, everybody running with that and using it as the broad brush.
As we get clicks. And then no matter them will get more clicks, you know.
Huh?
Clickbait. Clickbait. Whatever is the word, man, clickbait.
Yes, clickbait.
Yeah. So me just not, but put it there, but I don't like it like that. But anyway, moving on to with the Shield thing, I think I had said this before, man, in Rudolph Speid, in terms of the field thing. I thought before, I think when the Premier League did that, have 12 teams, and I think they were considering expansion, and I said I think the league should consider expanding to a couple more teams, right? I got
Mhm.
ridiculed for it to see the league expand. I said I think we should have 4 stadiums in the country dedicated to the Premier League and even quasi the national team, quasi the Premier League.
Mhm.
4 dedicated surfaces where we can say these are Premier League. So if I get promoted to the Premier League from tier 2, you have a stadium where you play at. If you get demoted, you don't play at that stadium. Is that next team playing there with a Premier League team? So it's Premier League dedicated. So you would have these fields would be the highest, the best quality fields surfaces in the country. And I think that is something would help. And then the fields that you guys are on right now would be like a training pitch. And then the school them can use them field and other tier 2 teams can use those fields in terms of them playing.
So
But once you
who's
come to the
supposed to be them 4 field away at that about CC?
no, but all right, look put it now.
See,
We have
CC, yeah,
four.
CC,
Yes.
yeah, the question I'm asking, man. Me not
Who's
want you,
supposed to build the 4 field?
yeah.
The government.
So the government for build field for the Premier League team them.
No,
Then,
watch out. When the government,
Me just
when the
have to
government,
pass. Yeah.
I'm not
but
saying the government.
management, CC is right because the Premier League is a industry that do employment for people. Don't you see the problem we are doing? See, if we have make salt at one factory, would have probably government that want help
I
because
said
them
the
class the
government
industry. The problem
right,
is that the problem is that
hold on.
just listen up. The problem is that the
Yeah,
government
some bag
don't
juice.
support.
The government
Hold on,
make factory for me make bag juice. Come you employ people.
the government don't see sports as an industry. That's the problem. I mean, I talk about no one government. I talk about government and a whole. You see, that people got to get political. They don't have it. When they add up them GDP, whatever I call it, GDP, sports is not listed there. So them don't see it as an industry. And that is the problem. So if you're looking at in all developing countries, the GDP, sorry, between 15 to 20% of their GDP is sports and entertainment. We
All right.
don't look on it like that, and that is the problem we're having.
If football get 4, how many stadium track and field must get?
But no wrong if track and field in there too, because it could be multi-purpose. All we are saying is that we need, and I agree with him 100%. We need management. You see, you're just like majority of the people. It's like me go someplace, I miss it. Well, I know, me go someplace, I say, I miss it on road. I would never vote for anybody if they give me them the road if it live in them. I would never vote for anybody. No MP couldn't come to me based on the road I'm missing. And somebody said it before. Look, we just don't have no standard. But
All right.
all the rest, if you go to Trinidad and just hold on, man. If you go to Trinidad and Tobago, the man them have like about 7 to 8 stadium where decent, we can play things, and even don't even like the people in pay for when they use them. So, and this is in the Caribbean, you know. So we couldn't bother go on like say what the man is saying is incredulous. It's because we not travel going away, and we don't go know of Jamaican situation, and we accept it. But
We
the
don't want
truth is,
I really want to get into the Trinidad story now, but let me say this. So the government must build 4 football stadium for the Premier League clubs.
no, for football. So that means that even the Manning Cup teams, them where them play certain rounds, etc., they can play in the Andacosta Cup. It can't be fair. It's just like in England, don't them have one stadium where them play certain games, you know? Where stadium? It's a football stadium. Where stadium name? Can't remember the name. Wembley. Right. It's similar thing. We have to have things. But also, remember say England people can afford good stadiums. So people they still get
The government build the Emirates.
no, but I'm saying if a man have enough money for building one stadium, it's fine. But I'm saying the majority of people will not. And that is where the government comes in to take care of them people, make sure say, look here, you see an indoor stadium, tell me if we have any in Jamaica. We could just move away from football, just to make the point. Eh? You know, volleyball is an indoor game. Where can we play it except in probably 2 or 3 places?
By the national what name indoors center by
Then we can play every volleyball in there, sir.
Then you
So what
play
for the record?
but wanna play in indoor in the auditoriums up by all the UE and UTech, man. We are talking about Mr. Speed.
But then we ask you, man. The stadiums in the US, you know, so the USA, in the States, a lot of these stadiums in the States
are built by the state, owned by the state, funded by the state.
Hold on. When you say a lot, CC, careful what you say now. Now me I talk to you. When you say
Yeah,
a
man,
lot,
you me a talk to.
hold on, CC. You're saying that. When you say the stadiums, what are you talking? Right? What are you?
I am saying.
Are you talking about like the MLS stadium? Or you're talking about all the stadium across the state in the US?
No, I never said all the stadiums. I'm saying to you a lot of stadiums. I never said all. I said a lot of stadiums.
When you say that, though, you have to put context to it. Because in one state alone in the US can have over 100 stadiums in the bus.
All right, so I'm going to put it to you
so
like
be
this.
Careful what you say. Yeah.
Major League Baseball, NBA, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, these franchise leagues where have billionaire owners are in it, some of these stadiums are built by the state funding.
Okay, so you're saying, for example, what you're saying, for example, like MSG is owned by the United States government.
No, all right. So I'm gonna put it in a context with you. I'm saying, for example,
the Rose Garden and those places are owned by the USA government, the government of the United States of America. May I try understand?
I'm saying to you, like when the Dallas Mavericks play, you know the state of, but then you say no, I think it's Houston or one of them things, because what they do sometimes is say them have some.
So the New York Red Bulls, that MetLife Stadium is owned by the government. Then let me use that.
Man, me never say all I stadium them, you know. But it is there. I know something more me I go say, oh,
Sophie Stadium is owned by the government.
Man, you could have called out 100 stadium name.
Mark Cuban owned the stadium in Dallas where Mavericks play, or the government?
Man, as I said to you, you could call a million stadium in the US.
Okay, all right, sorry about it. While I understand your point, you know, I understand what you and Mr. Speid are saying, you know, CC. And I think what we need to do is to talk about how we can get, right, the clubs in Jamaica. In other words, if Mr. Speid were making millions out of the football, he need to build a stadium for himself. What we need to do is to make the football clubs be proper functioning business entities that are turning over millions of dollars because they have major investors who can come and build a stadium.
So, Mr. Management, we never know say a joke, you know, because we don't have any market to earn that type of money. Even if we were able to full a stadium, you have any idea how much a stadium costs? So just make we just humor you for a while. And the last type, you know, a decent stadium, I think the one on Montego Bay was 90 million US dollars it costs. 90 million, if me remember correctly. And that's not even a top of the line stadium. You have any idea what a stadium costs? Or we are able to afford that in Jamaica? For what type of returns? Everything is economics.
All right, management, I'm gonna give you one. So you see the Lambo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Mr. Speid, so what is the returns to the government? Somebody saying that, Mr. Speid, and you need to move Cavaliers.
Management, you really talk about the returns to the government. The government have an obligation. All of the taxes they will pay. There is an obligation to take care of your citizens. That's what it is all about.
Mr. Speid, DW is saying to you, move Cavaliers to Portland. Darrell Vaz has a stadium for you.
Brother, whenever I go up on the field, everybody just sit down and talk everything. I've been to Portland, Carter Park Field. It not ready for play Premier League, brother. Where you want me to go? Me I go move it up. Let's go do what? It not ready for play Premier League. It want work on the field itself, not good enough. You're talking about Mount Pleasant Field, it worse than Mount Pleasant Jackson. It surfaced. It was a whole heap of work.
So CC say has some information to share. Go ahead.
So now I was saying the Lambeau field that Green Bay Packers play on is owned by the city of Green Bay.
Thank you, CC.
All right, go ahead.
So-
Yeah. So
that is
just
that
like
is why I'm saying
so that is one. So just like the national stadium is owned by the government of Jamaica, but there are still fields that are just like Wembley is owned by the British government. So you will have that. You will have that. But a lot of them, what happened is that they get a lot of these places get state funding. They may get
Feel in a country
in
is
other words,
not.
what they do is that if it's a Speid, for example, we're going to Portland to redo the whole Carter Park, and the government says, okay, Carter Park is owned by the government of Jamaica. We are going to give it to you,
Yeah,
and
Christian.
you right. So when you do that now, when you give Carter Park to Mr. Speid, he builds it out into a stadium. But because he has an agreement with the government can still say can we play this DaCosta Cup match and stuff, because the government was part of the people who so the government can give land, I agree with that, that the government of Jamaica, I don't see any incentive for the Jamaican government to build stadium for Premier League football.
It's not for Premier League football. The man said build 4 stadium for football. That means, but so if you're in Premier League or Championship or high school, when you reach a certain rounds, you know where you're going to play. That's what the man said. Why is the facility we need in certain sections of Jamaica, including the running track, because Jamaica... Hold on, Mr. Management. There was a thing that I was looking at. This on Jamaica performance in the Olympics per capita, right? And if you look on money and everything, Jamaica would have ranked first in a performance, right? Did you know that 30% of the people in the English professional league, they all are Caribbean, and Caribbean they are all originated from the Caribbean forefathers, which tells a story, where we have here is nothing short of talent where you can export if it harnessed properly, In other words, I don't understand how everybody know this. Just checking at the Premiership, the Championship, League 1 and League 2. I think out of the total amount of employed person, we have 30% of them come from the Caribbean. Majority of them come from have Jamaica ancestry. So anybody who are planning for the long term, as a matter of fact, when it comes to track and field, 75% who run for England come from the Caribbean, right? This is the type of raw material we have here, right? And there's big money in our sports. So anybody I think wouldn't even talk like your management. It's important that we harness every talent we have, because in the long run, a whole heap of money are going to run based on talent we have.
Me and you now discuss harnessing talent.
Here's what we are going to do it without facility.
Here's what me and going to discuss. We have
put 1 point in.
Hold on. Me have a couple of things. If I were the Prime Minister of Jamaica and I had a choice between upgrading our road network and building a football stadium, I am going to channel the resources into upgrading the world.
Why does there have to be a choice?
All right, I'm telling you. So, because what kind of nation they say we are? We are a first world. What kind of nation they say we are?
Third world.
No. Hold on.
I never say nothing about that. I'm not talking what I think.
Are we? What are we? Are we a first world? What kind of? Tell me. Oh, you can't answer no. All right, hold on. So let me.
No. Clearly, we're not first world. So, but I'm not going to say what we are.
What? No, man. Give me a definite. It starts with D. You said it earlier. We are a. Come on, man. Tell me now.
I never said that. I say first world and developing nations. All of them take care of their citizens. That's what I said.
All right. So follow me now. All right. So follow me. So, what you and I agree with is this. In Clarendon, for example, I believe if there is an investor, you said it, track and field is so profitable. So if someone were to approach the government and say, I want to build a facility that we can have like Caribbean indoors or one of the world indoors track and field can be held. The government should come into agreement and give the land for the infrastructure to be built, right? And provide certain, in terms of material coming in, we're going to remove a certain level of taxation and all
That
of
is
those
the
fees
least
and
they
stuff.
can do. I am not saying that. That is the least they can do. I am saying that Billy too.
No, I think the government, if that is the government is always going to say, in terms of priority, we have. Listen, we don't have proper hospitals, boss.
Whose fault is that?
No, we not ask her whose fault. We just talk about
Remember,
them.
we used to have backside, and we used to say we sell the most. We used to have backside, and we have.
Let me ask you this, management.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Speed. In terms of the U17 World Cup, is it not going to be held every year?
Yes.
And are we in a position to host any of those World Cups?
No, it will be in Qatar for the first 5 years. Isn't that it?
No.
Correct.
I'm asking. All right, so look on it like this. You remember when FIFA, when I think the reason with the U17 World Cup, the Brazilian president the Brazilian football administrator came into presidency in FIFA, and that person was the one who came up with the Youth World Cup. I think it was U17 or U20 at the time, because they were saying to expand football and into certain regions. My thing about it is, yes, it's going to be in Qatar for the next 5 years. But if we were able to build some stadiums in Jamaica, we could be able to lobby even CONCACAF to keep multiple tournaments within Jamaica over a certain period of time.
CC, you're doing it the reverse way, CC. Trinidad and Tobago did not build the stadium to host the World Cup. Trinidad were given the World Cup, and so they built the stadium. What needs to happen is that Jamaica need to petition FIFA for a World Cup, and then FIFA and the government will build stadiums.
Anyway, I'm not go like how you talk, management, because when you get management, when you get don't bother with tell the people that before you you can get big events like the World Cup and the Olympics or World Championship, there has to be a bill tabled in your House of Parliament, and them have to pass it to allow certain things, literally, right? And the only way the people more consider you. So it's not like that, management. You go and say you're techie and then things start happening. There's a whole heap of things you have to do first before they even consider you.
But with Trinidad and Tobago did not have those stadiums sitting in Trinidad and then try to keep a World Cup.
No, you're right, but things change. No, you think anything is like what happened them time there, where you could actually get it first and then you tell them how you fix it? No, so you have to actually have the facilities them now in place and carry the people and go show them where you do and the sites them where you go build with the plans and the funding feed. Or else you're not getting anything to us. Come on, and that's how it go again, management. You ever see even where the Australia get the Commonwealth Games? Australia have stadium, and when they realized how much it's going to cost them to host it, they said they don't want it. They said get back. That's what happened. So things are more complex than those times. All I'm saying, staying at the basic, is that government must provide for their citizens. And this me not go nowhere else. And until we provide for our citizens, we have no springboard to host anything. If we had 4 good stadiums with 10,000 people right across Jamaica, yes, we could have started make we host under 17 World Cup with Trinidad and Barbados. Because we could have said, make we have 3 zone here or 4 zone, 2 go there, so whatever, and then the finals come back at Jamaica. We don't have nothing. We don't have the first thing to say we are going to play any of these tournaments, and that's the problem. We have it.
All right, boss.
We could have a package it. We could have a package it deal, as I said, Mr. Speed. It go to Qatar. Why? Because they want to develop football. We could have packaged it and say between Jamaica and Trinidad for the next 5 years. We host the next 5 or even 3. Give it 3.
All right.
We don't.
Or 1.
Start.
Hey, CC, we have around 50 minutes left on the show, and Parish Council was calling, so let me just give him an opportunity.
All right.
Yeah, man. All right, respect. All right, let me just call Parish Council, Mr. Speed, and then we close out because he was trying to call a couple of times. People, hit the like button. Come on, man. Oh, my God. I don't believe this. 52 likes. Oh, my Lord. Parish Council, you know all about the stadium building thing because you're a member of the municipal. So talk to us.
My parish council.
Mr. Speid still in the building.
Yeah, man. Mr. Speid is in the
Yeah,
car.
man. Big up on your most recent victory, Mr. Speid.
Oh, no. Defeat.
Respect, thanks.
Defeat.
No, man, we not talk about Mount Pleasant. We not talk about local league, man. Man, thing international now.
Exactly.
Mr. Speid, Mr. Man, a very critical here, you know. Give the whole heap of criticism, you know, and time again, you prove me wrong. So, over time, yeah, come one of your supporter them in terms of your application and your movement with Cavaliers. You know what I mean?
All right, thanks.
Come on, so big up yourself, man.
Respect.
Man, it's some argument that say we figure out some charity cup and give a man this because he did run first place for 3 weeks and all of them foolish this. So that
What is that? People, no hear me say anything. You don't hear me say anything about
Good one, parish council. Good one.
No, you still hear me, man?
Yes, yeah. Where did I say that, sir?
Yeah, man. But I have to know if a man a run a 5,000 meters and him a lead the whole of the race, and when the last 10 meters done, him lose, we fi give him one trophy.
No, because him finished second.
Yeah, so
no,
so I am not done.
I am what I'm saying to you.
The league not done.
What I know, I am saying to you, when a man runs at the Jamaican trial to qualify for the Olympics, he gets a medal at the Jamaican trial, right? And he may not go to the Olympics or get anything. If him get something there, he get a bigger medal.
Right.
So my point is,
the man with top Champions League group stage.
Top champions. This is the first time we've seen this format now. This format. Oh, you go use
Yo,
that.
man, answer that one. The man say if you top Champions League group stage, if you forget a medal lesson or a trophy. That the man asks you. Answer the man.
Yeah. If you get a medal.
This is the first time we're seeing this. We don't know because it could be something they look at. Because remember now, and the next thing is that you don't play all the teams 2 times in this format. So it's different. In the JPL, you play all the teams. What, 2 times? 2 times.
3 times. And what happens is that you get 2 at your yard and 1 away, or you could get 1 away and 2 at your yard. So there's no equality if you believe say home advantage of anything. So where the equalizer is, we are play feet all now. There's a problem of money where some teams struggle and can't afford to pay players or buy enough players. And they struggle initially, but they come into the top 6. When they reach the top 6,
sorry for trophy, man is man want to give Mount Pleasant. I know you gotta kick out them teeth again. So man, for sure.
Yeah.
People, listen to me, people.
Parish council, you're right, because the last 6 person who get the most points did not win the title. When Mount Pleasant actually won it, they came 4th, I think, or 3rd. I don't remember.
Oh, no, listen.
So man is man. What Mount Pleasant gonna do with the trophy when Cavaliers beat them in the final? What am I gonna do with the trophy?
Well, on the parish council, man is being facetious because the time when Mount Pleasant won, the title, they came 3rd or 4th in the regular season. So, man, give back that trophy there before you start talk. Give back that. The time when they won the title, they did not come 1st or 2nd. They come 3rd or 4th in the regular season. So, man, give back that trophy. Give back before you come with the argument, man.
So, people, see, hold on this. Watch out, people. Me gonna beat all of them. One, not me gonna give them.
Yeah, nah.
Me beat them 1 at a time. Bam. Let me deal with. I'm gonna deal with Parish. Me I come right where Parish.
No. Talk about when them Mount Pleasant win the title. When them did come in the regular season.
Who is talking about? The 6 teams must have an opportunity to play for the title, regardless of where them finish. That is not the argument. Oh, we gonna do so. So let me deal with CC first. CC, you have an Eastern Conference champions. They get something for that. They're not the NBA champions, boss. Right? Bam. So we can, that done and dusted. Simon, When Jamaica won their zone, that is a zone, boss. Jamaica did not play all the teams. In the JPL, you play all the teams. According to Mr. Speid for this season, 2 times. What I am saying to you, the top 6 goes to the playoffs. And the winner out of that get the ultimate title because that is it. However, there should be something for the team that finishes the league on top.
No, sir.
And
No,
here-
sir. So why you kill up yourself? Why you never come 5th? Why you kill up yourself and come first, man? If you know, say a 6 side I got you.
You know what is the thing?
You want to steady your foot like racers. You want to steady your foot place.
Don't MLS have something like that?
Yeah, but the Americanized thing that man is, man, I wouldn't depend that.
Boss, all you have to do is to say, listen, watch this. Because Arnett, it happened to Arnett. It happened to Humble Lion. And I'm not saying, because I am not advocating that they must go to the playoff. But if I win, if I play,
What you win?
Lord have mercy. Parish Council, listen up, Parish Council. 13 and 13. And 13 is 39. All right. If I win 38 games for the season, boss, give me a cash incentive.
Cash.
Because here's what Parish Council, if you don't do that, the league will get watered down, you know. It's going to be a joke thing in Jamaica. Give the money so that everybody can fight to get that money, because it's not like the first. They used to give money for it. So it's not like it never used to happen.
So man, why don't ask for the format of the league to be changed? Why don't ask for it to be a straight league and not a playoffs?
Boss, remember, they used to do this. Why it stopped is because they don't have nobody to give the money. That is how it used to be. Them used to give, I think, $2 million. When Humble Lion did it, they got $2 million for finishing the regular season on top. They did not win.
That wasn't true though. It's 1 million.
1 million. 1 million. I missed the amount. In Mr. Speid, man. You can't say
I heard you asking for a trophy.
A shield.
He want a shield now. Man is man. You know, funny enough, that year when your team win, Arnett Garden won. They got the most points, right? Hold on, man. Me never hear you come on a program and I say Arnett Garden are the champion. Them forget what them forget.
Of course, with T-Got. Of course, and T-Got and I did an interview. I'm going to say, I agree with you. I agreed with him. They should have gotten a shield and should have gotten some money. They should have gotten some money.
Not the regulations, but one thing I can say to you, I'm sure you never think that the person who get the most points that year, that it was so important right now, because your team was able to come third and win the title that year, that particular year.
I don't
have and you were very happy, and I saw how happy you were beaming from year to year when your team come third and win the title. You were ecstatic.
This is a clear case of insecurity. Somebody worrying that your team is not over the line, so they might try to give them a little trophy.
Yes. It's a clear case of selective outrage. Selective outrage. It only outrage you when your team get the most points.
I swear, like Parish Council some fight, Mr. Speid. Him just say them thing I come out and chat.
There's no need for a trophy. There's absolutely no need.
Listen what Parish Council, we are saying, give them a cash incentive and a shield. A shield and a trophy are different, my boss. The ultimate trophy is at the end. The biggest cash prize is at the end. But I am saying, begin to give us cash incentive for it and a shield. The regulation can change. Set in stone, boss. It can change next season. Because it used to happen. It used to happen.
Never go as far for say man. Only an Arsenal fan would suggest something like that. Because after when you used to have Emirates Cup, on a play and make one big celebration about it before the season start. Then when season start, we don't win.
All right.
When it's so no win Emirates Cup.
All right, hold on. The Parish Council. So make it slow down. Make it go easy. Which team you support?
I'm a Manchester United fan.
and Parish Council, you think me and you should have a discussion right now, Parish Council, about the Premier League and about Arsenal right now?
Anytime, because the last time Arsenal win Premier League, Cable never there at Jamaica. No, Cable never there at Jamaica when Arsenal win Premier League. So we can have a conversation anytime. And you never win Champions League yet.
Parish Council, what you
So
say?
there's no conversation
So Parish
to be
Council,
had.
what you're saying is that is when Cable came to Jamaica, you start watch Manchester United. Them not supposed to talk to you, man.
My first Manchester United game, I listened that on radio. I tell people all the while. The FA Cup final with Man U and Arsenal, where Paul Scholes, they missed the penalty, and Arsenal win the FA Cup. Whenever me did born, me not have no control over that. Me not have no control over when me born and when me start watch football. But I can say to you is that only an Arsenal-minded thinking fan would say you need a cup to give to somebody where win half of one league and the league not done yet.
Which half of the league?
There's
Of
no
course,
need
the
for
league
that.
is done, boss. The regular season is done. The top six is what they call the playoff. The regular season is done. What are you talking about, Parish Council?
Man, if the regular season done, you still have something else to play for. You still have the final for reach. So what is the need to give a trophy?
No matter how fuck you say, man, that same argument where you posited, we posit that argument until the CONCACAF people wants to say why we don't give a preferential treatment to the person who get the most points, and them say no, a competition is a competition. At the end, it finished.
So what preferential? But you do give them a preferential. What preferential treatment are you giving them?
No, we were saying at that time the winner, the person who win, just go straight to the Caribbean Cup. Them time when we had two, and then the second, and then once you come get the most points, you would have go straight to the Caribbean Cup, and then the rest of people them would have fight for the next space based on how they finish after that. So even if the person get the most points and then come fourth, they would have still got through, and then the winner, the second part of the competition, go through with them. And then say no, either you have a league, or once you have what you have, is who come first and second go through. The person who get the most points, it don't mean anything. We posit that argument to CONCACAF and they run with that.
So Mr. Speid, the format of the league is what? League and knockout. That's
Yes.
it, right?
Yes.
League and knockout.
League and a knockout. That's it.
So man is man. The man will win heat and semi in a 100-meter sprint. Him to get something before him reach a finals.
Even and him do the fastest time too.
Yeah. The two
Yeah.
Boss,
to make sure say him have something for sure.
Parish Council. Me think you need to. Me think sometimes.
A good argument that Parish Council. What we are said to you, management. Look here. Everybody know what the competition is. It not necessarily means that people are trying to get the most points. Because that's not important. What is most important is to make sure say whatever you go through, you fix up your team and wait for the playoffs and come as hard as you can.
When the people, so there's a World Championships this year. When the people run and come first in the finals and qualify for the World Championship, should there be a medal presentation at the Jamaican trials?
It's not one competition, that are two different competitions.
No. Easy, Mr. Speid. Parish Council, you just said no, they shouldn't get any medals at the Jamaican national trials.
You qualify, that is enough of a reward.
So you're saying that they should not get
for World Championship.
You shouldn't get anything.
Even if they get something, that's a finality. A final was run, and they then get a medal for Jamaica Championship. That's a different thing from World Championship. As a matter of fact, you know the Jamaican rules set in such a way that it don't necessarily mean that because you win here, you got the World Championship. You know, you could get injured in between and somebody substitute. A whole heap of things can happen. So I'm saying, no, but it's two different competitions. This is one competition. No, management. This is one competition. The Premier League is one competition, not two.
No, I cannot. No, let me help you with that. Because I cannot. May I have to correct you. One, as long as you meet the qualifying standards, injury cannot happen to anybody. So we now put that in there. You finish first, you automatically qualify. Boss.
Yeah, but it is a final that running at the stadium and make you when you win the Jamaica trials, it's a final that now you get a trophy for that.
Yeah, cause if I run
Exactly,
heats
Mike.
and semi, then him run
But
fast.
World Championship, you could have brought the World Record at Jamaica. You're not getting a trophy at World Championship till you win that final.
Listen, what I'm saying.
The World Championship final. So that's not a good analogy.
No, listen, because it's a very good analogy, though.
No,
Is
sir.
it?
And
Yeah.
the worst one you could have come with.
Listen, boss.
The man who qualify for World Cup now get no medal.
Boss, man. When you qualify from Jamaica for the World Championships, if you're at the national trials, you get a medal. Without going
to the national trials, yeah.
So, just listen, man. The national trials is a pathway to the ultimate.
Yes.
In the same way, finishing between 1 and 6 is the pathway to the playoff.
All right. So let me just put you to your funeral now. Me just put you to your funeral. No man, me have to send your guy a grave now. So no, me have to send your guy a grave. Me have to send your guy a grave now. Me have to send your guy a grave now. No, me have to send your guy a grave right now. Me can go back to football. Hold on. Me can go back to football. When CONCACAF World Cup qualifying finished, then name 4 teams. Well, I know when CONCACAF World Cup qualifying finished, then name 4 teams for the World Cup. Nobody no get no medal this because the medal where you work for are the World Cup medal when you're going at that last, well, it will be 48 or 32 what it was. You don't get no medal. You don't read your mannings, man. You don't write this, you know.
Boss, nobody. When Jamaica.
So anybody who finish first in the World Cup qualifier, you don't get no medal. You just finish first and you're happy and you got a World Cup.
What you listen what me I said to you.
World Cup qualifier, you get medal when from each one of the regions them.
But things you know listen to but
you don't need to listen because I just tell you something kill everything what you're saying.
Why but a nonsense you talk?
No, when CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers finish, somebody win that with the most points, don't. Then get a trophy?
If they get no.
Exactly. And when they got a World Cup, then get a trophy.
Them don't get no trophy.
When they go a World Cup, go win, like Argentina win here. All right, Argentina will win the South America zone. Then get a trophy.
No. But
and when they got a World Cup, now win the World Cup, then get a trophy.
Who get trophy? Who get trophy?
Argentina, them are the world champion.
Who get trophy? Argentina get the trophy, right?
I call them the world champion. But remember, say, in them qualifying, them did win down in South America, you know. They don't get no trophy.
Now listen, did Brazil get a trophy? Did the USA get a trophy?
Yeah, make my point. Yeah, make my point for me, you know.
No, those
are qualifying tournaments for the World Cup.
Listen what me I say, no, man. Me I tell you about the World Cup. Because you are bring the World Cup. I'm not sure to say your point. You don't make,
no, you bring athletics. Me I bring football.
So me I bring football.
Yes.
And the same World Cup we ever use. I'm going to give you an example. Right in MLS, Messi team qualified for the Club World Cup. You know how they qualified?
Then get a trophy?
They won what is called the Supporter Shield.
Where somebody vote for?
What somebody vote for what? This is what me hey,
but then win the Supporter Shield.
What do you mean how the money win the Supporter Shield?
Me just ask you. You know how much people upset say them in that group than people say just because I'm Messi. You know how much people upset about it?
If you did that, they were going for different thing.
You know how much people upset about it? Yes.
Mr. Speid, man is man a try Americanize football. And
exactly.
Football now got Americanized. So no matter with that.
You know why?
No matter with that, man is man.
Inter Miami.
No matter with them American style or Eastern Championship and Western Championship.
Miami finish.
No matter with that.
Inter Miami finish MLS with the best record.
Or them are the champion?
They were not the MLS champions, but they were the champions at the end of the regular season, but they didn't go on to win MLS, boss.
So you want Mount Pleasant to be the Inter Miami?
I'm not sure you're going to kill you
what
now.
You want?
You see, if you don't want the American standard, make the league run like EPL.
So what happened now is Mannings man is you see all right. So look here, no Mannings man. So
Right.
you know say hold on now, just listen now, listen up. You know say in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, USA make some whole heap of different competitions so some people can qualify for play night. So they end up with like about 13 teams in out of 20 odd. Because then find a way to give everybody one trophy because of how they set up with this franchise system. So and that is why it is set up like that. Nobody else wants that in the world except them.
If we don't want what they are doing in America to be applied to our league, let's go to what they have in the EPL. Everybody play everybody 3 or 2 times, and the team with the most points win.
You are only saying that now because it suits you now and you feel that nobody can get your team in a points. 2 years ago, you were not saying that when you come third.
What?
Mr. Speid, what
Every
was the
time.
previous format? What was the previous format of JPL prior to this way in which it...
No, it was... All right, JPL, no, when it just started out, it was always like this, a knockout, but then we had changed to a league for a couple of years, for some years, and everybody in the JPL, all of the clubs, them said they don't want no league, they want to go back to the knockout format. This was something that was voted on by the clubs, and the JFF agreed, so they don't want a league. So, and if you go back to the vote right now, and what I know, and subsequent years, everybody said they don't want a league, at this they want.
Yes, so what I say is we never adapt MLS format. We did already have our format.
Yes.
So man is man make it sound like we adapt MLS format.
No, we are playing for over 50 years now, you know. We are playing, so if MLS is more than 50 years, maybe, but we are playing for over 50 years now, this competition.
Boss,
thank you.
So
MLS adapt our way.
Hey, Parish Council. They think the people they hear, yeah? From
1 minute for taxi.
Boss, from A League, from all the leagues in the US, they are, which is what Mr. Speid, when Mr. Speid's a playoff, what they used to do is the top 4 go to a semi-final, boss. That was what it used to be. First play third, second play fourth. And from that you go to, that is how the JPL used to be. It wasn't like a top 6. It was the semi-finals. You'd go straight to semi-finals. The top 4 go to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Top 2.
And then we switch to a league where the winner, we switch to a league and we have hybrids where the top 6 play for the one at the time we had a hybrid where the top 6 play and the top 3 combined with the top 1 with the first out of the bottom group go to the semi-final. So we did switch to even the hybrid, and then after that we switched to where who have the most points. And then everybody said they don't want that. They want to go back to where we have our playoffs. And that's why we are here. And Mannings man have selective outrage. When it suit him, he wanted to go back. And when it not suit him, he want to go in a knockout.
In fact, let me tell you this, right? It used to be 2 zones as well, Parish Council. Let me help you with, because I can't give you a whole lot of things about them league. Used to be 2 zones in Jamaica, Parish Council.
Yeah.
Right?
Consisting of how many teams?
I think it was 8, you know.
8, so 16 teams.
Yes, and they used to even have cross zone. So JPL, according to Simon, started in 1973. The NASL started in 1968, boss.
The what?
NASL. That is the National American Soccer League.
Yeah, but before that we had a All Island competition that was a knockout. So so our origins we used to have a parish league which was a knockout. Our origins come from before that, and it was always a knockout.
Because the things that we have a football league, a national league before America. That was my
no, we used to play by parish, not clubs. But it was
okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. But let me ask you, Mr. Speid, which team you support if you're able to say that? I mean, you own a club or you coach a team like international.
Arsenal in support.
Real Madrid and Arsenal, yes. But me not talk like Mannings, man. Me not talk like that. Me still not talk like Mannings, man.
Okay. No, me like I say Arsenal fans alone kill up themselves about community shield. If you notice him a stress for shield, he don't want a trophy, you know. He want a shield.
You see, him and the Arsenal fan when we used to win things, him and the Arsenal fans when we stop win. You see, two different type of Arsenal fans you have, you know.
Yeah. I will
So
keep
him get desperate.
start support Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but Mr. Speed, let me ask you though, because it's been a long time on this and you know me now hold up the line.
You know,
What is that?
Hold on, Parish Council. You're gone 25 minutes and you say now hold up the line.
Yeah, but I never me alone at talk man, man. Be fair, man. What may I say, Mr. Speed? What is happening with Richard King? Is there any possibilities? Because I hear a lot of rumors and a lot of things are being said, but we're not seeing any movement for the player. And the player is a man where the entire nation have in high regards. And we would really like to see him transition. I don't think he has anything more to offer the Cavalier. So what is
Yeah,
happening?
we working very hard. We working very hard. No, we working very hard for him get a transfer. But you know, it have to be we have to get an offer and everybody satisfied with the offer. So that's where we are. I'm hoping something up before the end of the season. No, end of the season, before the end of the season. What we want.
Yeah, because I think
Some
naturally
option.
the elephant in the room is always Mr. Speed now bust a big baller. You win only for domestic league, but bust a big baller. And I think with your CV right now, if you were to put that on your CV to say the baller the array are in the array, I think that would kind of smooth off the surface and they wouldn't.
Yeah, but the mistake where everybody make. I agree with you, but the mistake where everybody making is that I am not an agent. I've never myself to be an agent. So the players are represented by their agents, individual agents. So I'm expecting them, the agent, to do the business, not me. I produce the talent, but it just don't work out yet.
All right, Parish Council.
But when
go back to your Manchester United self.
Because I do 30 minutes now. That now,
don't know anything. Yeah, I saw Manchester. I saw Manchester Steven. Them around.
It's all right, man. It's all right. The last time you win a league, I wait name Sega. You know the game. They know much picking. I know the game. The Sega they on your jersey last
Sega
time you win Premier League.
Sega.
Sega are O2. Them long time phone. They when they picking. I know them something they know. So you go and troll Manchester United and now watch your club. But everything good, man. Me catch you next day on the club thing. I catch you next day.
When Manchester United playing?
Sunday. Remember Thursday ball game we playing man.
Who you playing against?
Fulham.
Fulham? Where?
Fulham. Yeah.
Where?
I don't remember, honestly. I've been so discharged for the past couple of months. A lot of things now really retain as it should, but we are take time come back. and to see a coach say what him want to say, it is down to the owner to decide if it is inappropriate him fire him or if him find it appropriate him keep the coach. It has nothing to do with training, neither training. Coaches get upset all the time and say whatever they feel like. If it is overboard, the owner should fire him. If it is within the perimeters, the owner will keep him. So that is all I have to say. Big up yourself.
All right, Manchester United.
Yeah, man. Blessing.
All right, Mr. Speed. Hey, thanks for your time, So people, remember, check out the Cavaliers ticket them and carb ticks. You understand me? Get them early because if it's a workout that Inter Miami coming, the price may change. It's the early bird price. You understand me? So make sure you grab your tickets early. You understand me? Yep. So wanted to know.
Respect. Thanks.
We are playing on Sunday.
We are playing on it, Garden.
Oh, jeez. All right. But your squad will be back, so we'll see.
4 out of the 6 will be back the other 2, no?
Oh, yeah. Because Xavier good in his overseas with the all-school team, no?
Yeah, and the other players overseas done some trials. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right then. All right. Blessing, Mr. Speed. All the best for the weekend.
Come
Yeah,
on.
man. Thanks again. All right. So, the people, please go and support Cavaliers. Make sure you get your ticket. If you don't have a ticket, you don't stand a chance. You understand me? No. God bless. Bless up yourself. One. God bless. Up. Real brethren. You understand me? No, man. We not get no beat, man. I'm mad. This man them at top, man. Mad this them at top, man. No Manchester. I see Drew 40. Type. Him is a Manchester United fan too. So anything that parish court say, he must go side with it because he support Manchester United. You understand me? A film thing that, but I leave Joe to a youngster named Presser. A true Presser in the comment section. Make Joe go and say, no. You understand me? But bless up. People. Thanks, long day. So thanks. Wanted to keep it an hour and a half because of the earlier video. We almost at 3 hours. But thanks to everyone. Thanks to all the persons who gave a super sticker. Appreciate that. You understand me? Thanks to all the new subscribers. If you have not yet liked the button, please go ahead and hit the like button and get us to 100 likes if that is possible. I am management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. You understand me? And to every single man, what Simon says, United will avoid relegation this season. I know. I like. Well, I like that. We'll avoid like I don't have those conversations. I don't know how to have a conversation like that, Simon, because it's not something that I'm familiar with as an Arsenal supporter. Fighting relegation, Arsenal, they don't normally like relegation and Arsenal don't fit in the same like sentence. You understand me? That's like a United kind of a thing. You understand me? Leeds kind of a thing. Them people around them side there. You understand me? But big up to every single one. Jamaican Hollywood, you see a safe bet that. Yes, indeed. Big up to every single one of you. It was a joy being with you today. Again, I am management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And when it gets to this time of the show, we normally say we are over and we are out of here.